My professors are really helpful and they reach out to me. They all know me by name. As opposed to, I don't know, your student number.
Dude, it's almost weird. I have teachers who know my name and I don't even know who they are. Like, I don't have classes with them.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was really weird. Well, one guy didn't necessarily know my name, but he's going around pointing. He's like, I don't know if you guys are here for like graphic design or this, and when he comes to mind, he like points directly at me or like blah blah. I'm like, so that one's like iffy. Like maybe he's just lucky guess. But the weird one was, I was at this club meeting, and I'd never seen, this is a teacher that in my branch, but I'd never seen her, and she didn't know anyone else by name. That was the other weird thing. And then she goes like someone needed help, some girl, and she's like, Mike, can you help her? I'm like, yeah, but like I wasn't like stunned that she needed help. I was just like, yeah, like how do you know my name?
Yeah, I'm the same way. Whenever somebody who I don't know says my name, I'm just like, I almost like halfway shut down. I'm like, what?
He's like, I'm glad you know my name, but I don't know how you know my name. Never told you. No one said my name in here, but
maybe just in the teacher's rounds, everybody in your program just talks about it's like, you know, the blue hair guy.
Yeah.
Mike. Yeah,
dude,
Mike.
I seriously think that's part of it. Like my mom's like, no, that's ridiculous. I'm like, well, you don't understand. I get stopped. I've had an old lady like stop me. Like I was in the hallway. And she's like, she like put her arms out like this. So like I like stopped. I'm like, I have my headphones. I'm like, yeah. And she goes, and she's like, she must have been like 60, like maybe give or take like 5 years, maybe. But she's just like, I love your hair. I'm like, okay. I thought it was something serious. The way you're stopping with your hands. I was like, okay, that's cool, I guess. But
are you an artiste?
yeah, right.
I moved to Portland because of this kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I take my picture with you?
It's like I had to move out to Portland. Like I can't get hired in Salem with blue hair, so I had to come out here to Portland. But I know Portland's pretty kick ass. Like
yeah.
I love hate the homeless people there. Like some of them are really cool and some aren't. So I have headphones in my ear when they like beg me for money or something like that. But when I see some cool ones, I'll take the headphones off. You know, and talk to them. But I had the best and worst was I had one homeless guy. He was partially homeless. Like he looked homeless, but he's like apparently had a room because he was on the street corner. And he's like, hey man, you know where how like Goodwill's open till? I'm like, I'm from Salem, so the one in Salem's open till like 9, but I imagine they're open at least as late, if not later here. He's like, all right, cool. I need a CD player. My roommate broke mine, and I'm just like, oh man, like what do you break it for? And he's just like, he's crazy, and there's kind of a little bit awkward silence after that. I'm like, what do you need to sing for? Or like, oh right, what do you need it for? I can't remember. I said something. And he's just like, oh, I need to practice my singing. I gotta sing for a friend's wedding. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, you sing and everything. He's like, yeah. And then it was like a little bit kind of awkward silence. I know he wanted me to ask him, but I was just gonna let him offer because it was too weird to ask the guy, you know. But he's just like, mind if I sing for you? I'm like, sure, just sing away. And so he sang for me for 2 blocks. And it was pretty sweet. Like, I got serenaded on the way to school. But the other crazy one was like, I have my headphones on all the time, you know. So one guy, like, gestured towards me and said something, so I took up my headphone and I noticed he's kind of looking behind me, but I didn't know, he's like looking in between me and someone else, so I'm like, he didn't know what he's saying. Though I heard him, he repeats himself and he yells, and then he chucks his coffee and misses both me and the other person. It lands in between us and splatters. I don't know who he's aiming for, but it's like, shit, that was really close. I almost got covered in coffee, so I don't know, it's interesting either way.
Yeah, exciting.
Yeah, a lot of the times you just gotta keep moving because all those questions they ask you, like how late is Goodwill open, where's the shelter, this and that, they know the answer, okay? Yeah. They know it better than anybody else walking down the street. Yeah. They go to Goodwill.
Yeah.
They're just trying to stop you.
Well, the singing guy was like pretty legitimate. He didn't know, but
I didn't know.
Certain ones you don't know how to play them.
Yeah, that story sounded like it was gonna go somewhere else, but that had a good ending.
No, he got to the street on the street corner where like I had to keep going. He had to turn. He's like, all right, man. That's the singing voice. I gotta go the other way. I'm like, all right, man. Well, that was really cool, and you complimented him and everything. But
did you give him $10?
No, I didn't.
Bastard.
I hate when I get asked for 50 cents because it's like, I don't even have 50 cents. Like,
Yeah.
I should be begging you. You don't have any money. I'm like 40 grand in the hole now. Like,
Yeah,
pay for my
sure.
college.
Yeah, why don't you take out a loan and give me $2 for talking to you?
Yeah, right. There's like, and there's the crazies. Like, I don't talk to the crazies because I don't want to get stabbed. But like, I was walking past one of them with, I was walking with 2 girls from class and walking to Safeway, and it's kind of late at night. So I was like, I don't want to like really engage him in the conversation because late at night I got 2 women with me. But he looks at all of us and he yells, he said something about like, Jesus is awesome, or Jesus is something like positive, like Jesus is blah blah blah. Everything else is horseshit. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he like looks directly at me, yells, he goes, you should listen to me. I'm from the future. And we just keep walking.
Nice.
Like, we get to the corner and I tell the girls, I'm like, that's weird. Do you think if he's from the future, he would have bought some like stocks in like Google or something? But nope. And they just look at me like the look they literally gave me was like, he's not really from the future. Like, but it's like, you guys not get this joke. I think they kind of figured out I was joking afterwards, but I'm like, I didn't really believe that homeless man was from the future.
That's great because
Right?
they're like they're so stupid, but at the same time they're thinking like this guy's stupid.
Well, they're like, they're not
Thinks
really
he's from
stupid,
the
so that's what
future.
surprised me. But it's like, I was like, some people just don't get sarcasm. I think I'm so sarcastic. I always know sarcasm's always on with me, but some people don't expect it all the time. Because we were in like English class, and my teacher's like said something negative about some band, and she goes, because she was trying to make an example, and everyone like half the class was like, right, and the other half was like, no, I like that band. She goes, well, like okay, like better example, like Justin Bieber. How about that? And then I was the only one in the class, but I'm just like, what? I love Justin Bieber, and like half the class was like, really? He likes Justin Bieber? Like, come on, guys, really? Come on. But
Fucking dude, oh man. I don't think we need to elaborate any more on Bieber. But back to crazy homeless people and whatnot. Like, I used to work downtown and there was just a con art. I don't even know if he was homeless. He's just a con artist. And like, he came up to me, he's like, hey, you, I remember you. And I was like, right? Am I right? You remember me?
Yeah, just hold it.
I'm like, where from? He's like, you go to Willamette, don't you? And I was like, I've never even stepped foot anywhere near Willamette. I don't know what the fuck you're talking. I'm like 2 blocks from that place, but I'm just like, what are you talking about? And I just kept like trying to get more out of him. He's like, listen, my gas, I don't have any more of it. And if I just could take your wallet and your money and go put some in my gas, I could be okay for a while, and I'll come back. I swear, and I'll bring you this. I'll bring you a bunch of money back. I swear, man.
You're right.
I'm just like, how about you go bring me some gas and I'll buy it from you? And like, just like messing with him. He's like, you don't understand what I need here. I need gas for my car. And I'm like, but you need to bring me gas first.
Yeah.
It's just how it's gonna work.
That's awesome. What an opportunity. I always do that with unsolicited calls. Like whenever they call, I always like, go on and with them. But to have somebody walk up and present that in person, that's awesome.
I couldn't believe it when it was happening. He shook my hand. Like, I was like, I could be like kind of drunk or high right now, something like this could be a flashback. All right, so maybe I don't remember this guy exactly. And he like went on about how he knew me from Willamette, and I was just like, like he just looks at me like, oh, he's like a 20-year-old who doesn't look like he goes to Shemeketa. So what colleges? Oh, Willamette, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, oh my god, you're bad at this. Go home,
Right.
go home, man.
Yeah.
There's so many awesome stories out there. Like every day is just like, if I don't get a story, I'm disappointed with my day. Like I don't think I have not got a story. Like every time, like I decided like I'm just gonna go to Safeway real quick. Safeway's 5 blocks from my house. I walk out the door. First thing I do is see 2 cop cars, and one's in the middle of the street, lights on, but no cop is in it. Then I keep walking down the street, and I see like just a little bit farther down is one standing outside of his cop car talking to the other cop car, like what's going on? Like, and then as I cross the street, another cop car runs down, like something's going on here. And then I walk across the street, homeless guy, no shoes on, and it's like fucking freezing cold out. I'm like, Jesus! And then he says something to me. And I took my headphone off, like I can't like hear what you're saying or whatever, but I said, huh? And then like he does this weird like wave, but he like he laughed when he did it too, but he pretended to jump out in front of this oncoming traffic, and this car like stopped and like kept going. But so he like laughed. I didn't know if he was really like what was he was doing, but he didn't repeat himself. So I kept walking, went to Safeway, got to Safeway. Some guy was on the corner yelling about how insurance agencies are the real terrorists, and we should do a Desert Storm on some insurance company. I can't remember what it was.
Oh man!
And I was like, "This is great." So then I like get my groceries, come back out, and I can see the ambulance lights on the overpass where the homeless guy was. And I'm like,
oh my
"What the heck
God.
happened to him?" But I was like really interested to find out. So by the time I got there, it was right when the ambulance was taking off. I'm like, "God dang it!" Like I wanted to know, did he jump out? Did he fake jump out in front of a car and end up getting hit or something? I have no idea.
Okay, can I just interject here and say
That was the
alright.
end.
So yeah, I kind of thought so.
Mm.
That was your scenario, your crazy scenario with people like picketing or whatnot, you know.
Mm.
All right, mine at Oregon State is like there's this guy who's just saying like, okay, everybody who buys stuff from China is going to hell because of the way we treat the Chinese workers or something like that, and people were like gonna punch him in the face. Like this guy started like he grabbed a sign from him and started pushing this guy.
Oh,
and
wait.
this guy doesn't even flinch. This protester doesn't even flinch. He just is like, you just want to punch me? You can punch me. I'll call the cops. Like I just think that all you people who buy stuff from China are assholes, and that's it. That's all I'm saying here. We're just
Yeah,
like whatever. And
that's fair.
and just this fag is just getting all fucking freaked out about
Nice.
this stuff, just getting all worked up and roiding out or something, pushing on this guy, and I'm just like, you're letting him win.
That's weird.
Yeah.
What kind of guy was attacking the guy? Like some jock or something?
He was
or
like
what?
he was like an emo. It was
Really?
weird, like gauged ears and AFI shirt or something.
God.
It was weird. Spiked up hair.
Just hates protesters.
He was getting all mad, and it's like this protester is totally egging people on, of course, but you know, you just like blow it off. You're just like, he's just like, hey, fuck you because I fucking hate you, and you're just like, you know what, I love being fucked, so fuck me, you know. You're
Yeah,
just
It's like the internet when you're trolling. You can't get mad. If you get mad, you lose. Like,
Exactly, and like especially when you start getting physical with the guy, that's fucked
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
man.
I know.
Like, yeah.
Dude,
So
like,
like, yeah, but on the farm though, no, Jack. What happens on the farm? Or is it just angry senior citizens just pissed off?
Stepping on my grave.
Everybody has an impeach Obama sign.
Yeah,
I was
Actually-
thinking that today.
Yeah, actually, when I went up to Hillsboro, I saw like 3 of them. I
Oh,
was there
man.
for like 10 minutes, and I saw like 3
all
impeach
of a
Obama
sudden.
signs.
Yeah, wow.
Just like on the sides of the roads, on the overpass, people holding them. It's like, wow.
It was like driving to Lions
That's
City, saw a
funny.
big truck and there's bumper sticker. I'm like, I bet you anything that's political. And by the time I got close enough, I'm like, you're in Lions. You don't have to have a bumper sticker that says something political. We already know your idea. You're living in Lions. We know what you're saying.
You live in an area known for having so many mountain lions. It's called Lions, okay?
It's just
you
like
know you own guns and you hate Obama.
It's silly.
No, I don't know. I made that up. I was wondering though, like there's mountain lions up there.
There is.
Is that why it's called Lions?
I know. I think he's even spelled funny. It's
Maybe,
like,
yeah.
And like
Yeah, it's spelled wrong, but
like-
maybe that's just their hillbilly ways.
and like
Yeah.
like naming other cities, like why is Staten called Staten? I know why Sublimity is called Sublimity.
Yeah, I do know that one. I think you probably read that
Almsville-
same class by Mrs. Reister or something like that.
Wait,
I don't know.
why is sublimity called sublimity?
Yeah,
It's
you
sublime. It's
yeah, it's like supposed to be Nirvana of
Alright.
the valley or something crazy.
Oh, I
And
used to know
then
why
s-
Almsville was called Almsville.
I think Staten is probably something like stay in this town for some ungodly reason. Just
Oh,
stay here.
stay town,
Like I
yeah.
can't think of any other. What the fuck is a Staten? I've googled it. There's no other Statens anywhere. I don't think.
Staytown, yeah.
There's so many like I don't know. The only time I've ever heard what Amstel was called is like why is Amstel named Amstel? I'm like why? Like I have no idea. And they're like because piece of shit town didn't sound good enough.
Actually, I think it is some kind of like Alms was like some pig farmer or something. He
yeah.
bought the town or something.
Yeah, I've heard. I know there is a meaning to it. It wasn't just some name pulled out of a hat.
I was like every other city in Oregon is
My
like
grandma's from there, so she's all into that shit. She's
Yeah.
probably told me 10 times. I don't fucking remember. I get all mad at her because she tells me the same story 20 times.
oh my god.
You know? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So bad.
Dude, yeah, so anyway, we can have a vagina break if you guys don't mind.
Let's take a quick vagina break.
I haven't had any vagina since I went to school, which is sad.
I haven't even tried.
Well, how's the selection up there?
Is
there any vagina
complicated.
you want?
I'm
up
surprised. Well, first of all, like all my classes, like I got like a half class because there was only a few late starters, and then both my classes are the same people. So it's like, damn it. I decided when I go up there, I'm not making any like dude friends. I'm not gonna like not make it like anyone happens to be friends with me. Like sure, I'll roll with it, you know. But I'm only gonna go out of my way to make friends with chicks. So I made friends with the only two like chicks in both my classes, and both of them are pretty cool, but they both have boyfriends. I'm like, damn it! But at the same time, like, oh, they have. I wasn't necessarily going for girlfriends. I was just like, I have enough dude friends. I'm only gonna make girls that are friends now. They have connections themselves. So it's like, yeah.
I was gonna say, there's just been this girl in my classes who keeps looking at me, and I don't know if it's because I don't know why she looks at me. She just always is looking at me, and so I'm like, all right, something's up. And I just realized that she's friends with other girls in the class who are way better looking than her.
Yeah.
My God, she's not good looking at all.
Yeah.
Her friends are like 6s.
They're like the secret wingmen.
All right.
It's like, I didn't realize, but that's, get your foot in the door with an easy one, right?
Dude, you have no idea what it's like in an engineering class.
Oh, that's true.
I was gonna say, like, I don't remember there being any girls. I remember there was one girl for like some reason in one class, and nobody knew why she was there. We were all just like, "Why is there a girl here?
That's
like,
true.
who's she here?"
I'm kind of used to the art school where like half the people are chicks, but
Like we weren't against it, but nobody knew who or why she was there. But it's like,
God, I'm like, every time I'm just like, oh, I need to figure out some way to socialize because, yeah. All I'm going to make in social world in my classes are just business partners and stuff.
yeah,
from what I can tell.
Networking.
Just networking, yeah.
hopefully.
So far, so good. So,
Yeah, I'm enjoying every bit of it so far. I have no complaints.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like so frustrating that like I want to get in my other classes. Like I'm excited to go take math class just because finally it'll be a group of like a bunch of random people. Like it'll be more than 2 girls in my class, and like I just want to meet some people, you know. But you know, it's soon. But it's funny though, being like the only. Everyone's so quiet. It's like they're all so timid in class, and like teacher will ask a question, like I have to like stop myself from talking so much because like the only one like speaking up. Like I know, like
Yeah.
I think they get kind of nervous. Like we present our artwork, and you know they're like, you know, we all critique each other, and I go up there and like I'm the only one like not kind of like nervous, or at least at first, and like I just look at them like I can walk up there and talk to people because this is a whole lot less nerve wracking than like posting a picture of you in a banana hammock on Facebook or.
Sounds about right.
Or a couple weekends ago, we went like dressed up as like little kids with little propeller hats and walked into the liquor store and bought some milk. I was like, that was actually kind of hard to do. It was kind of embarrassing because the liquor store was packed. But you make yourself to go do it. Some like girl and some dude like stopped us. They all like did a group photo and they're like, "This is like our new Facebook photo." Like I was like, "This is sweet. I'm on someone's Facebook I don't even know." Like. I just love that shit. So it's like it's not hard to go up and present my work. It's like this is fucking easy compared to like the last 3 years of my life. Like, but I'm not even spewing up like Twizzlers in front of everyone. This is easy.
Dude, yeah, good call.
But that makes it even cooler. Like you come off as a confident one. It's like this is just average to me. Like you probably don't even care about my artwork. I spent 9 hours on this. If I really was like upset that you guys weren't like gonna stare at it, I'd be pretty damn upset. But like, who the fuck cares? I don't care that you did yours for like 3 hours. Like, I don't know. It's too easy. Like no one pays attention. That's it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh man, it was exactly how I predicted.
How was your Black
None better,
Friday?
none worse. What?
How was your Black Friday?
Actually, so far it's been pretty good. I haven't bought anything, but I've thought about buying some stuff.
Like what?
I don't know, just I'm like, what the fuck should I spend my money on? What is even worth spending my money on anymore? Should I buy another instrument? Should I just I don't even know.
It looked kind of entertaining. I watched a movie at like 10 o'clock last night in Salem, and I was like, dang it, this looks kind of fun to like shop. Like Salem's packed for once, and it's like late night, which is like my time to like I love night. So I was like, dang, it almost would have been just fun to window shop, but
Just the party aspect, not the buying aspect.
yeah, the social part of it, not the So like I have no money to buy stuff, or I probably would have done a little bit of shopping as well, but I don't know. It's kind of cool to see everyone out for once, but
I bet that's why a big percentage of the people are doing it. I even heard that like people were camped outside of Best Buy for weeks, and like most of them just for fun. They're just like it's like a camping party, you know?
Yeah.
It was fun to wait for the line for the Wii. Like everyone was playing their DSs. Someone brought out a TV. That was the first time I watched Clerks. Was like watching in front of Portland with a line of people. It was pretty awesome. So I know.
I watched some videos of this Black Friday, just the giant Walmart mobs and everything, and so many people are just like standing around, picking up things, looking at them, putting them back, and it's just like not buying anything.
Yeah.
And the other half of the people are like getting in fights and knocking down things and like calling the cops, and it's like
I haven't seen the news. Did anyone die this year?
Maybe.
I don't know. I've only seen like 3 videos just shot by like people on cell phones.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I saw a commercial, $270 for a fucking 50-inch flat screen TV.
Damn.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy.
I mean,
deals.
it's like it's almost worth taking a day out of your week just to save the $250, you know. But you're gonna fucking kill grandma for that shit, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because a lot of that is just like limited 10 per store, and it's like, all right, I'm not gonna get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just it's really
think-
not worth it. I mean,
I didn't get any
Well, you
awesome-
get it like 3 months the way technology is moving anymore.
Right, yeah.
Fuck, I bought a 32 gig flash drive for $14.
Damn.
Whoa.
14 fucking dollars. I'm gonna put an operating system on it
Right.
and run it. Seriously, like I'm gonna have a solid state
insane.
drive. Yeah,
I didn't
Yeah.
think about that. You could do that.
yeah.
Holy shit.
So
Could you do that?
you can do
You
that.
could. Just I think, I've never seen it happen, but supposedly the rights, there's a limited amount of writes and reads to it. Or not reads, but just
100,000.
writing. Yeah.
Damn. That's awesome though. That's a
Yeah.
cheap way to do it.
That's a good deal. I was going to say, like, I spent that much on like a 8 gig or something.
Hell yeah, I know, right? I spent $12 on a 16 gig one not too long ago.
Yeah.
But
So sadly, the only
I mean, you could put Chrome OS, which I hear is like Linux minus. Like it's like just bare bones. Get on the internet, get off,
Yeah.
and just have something on one flash drive and have Windows on another flash drive, and you know whatever operating system forever kind of computer need you have.
But Thanksgiving,
But anyway.
I didn't get any spectacular John Bender stories. But
Oh,
there.
did you see him?
I did see him.
You saw him.
And I got like a couple like just funny things like he loves alcohol, like who doesn't, but like he's like borderline alcoholic kind of thing. He likes it to a fault, and he used to smoke weed like a motherfucker back in high school, and he smokes. He smokes cigarettes nowadays. He has such hatred towards weed. He is like, weed's the devil. Weed's, you know, like it's gonna, like you smoke weed once, you're gonna like end up killing your family, going to jail for, you know, like he just hates it. He hates weed, and he's like all the time. He's like, no, you don't get it, Mike. I've been through it. You haven't been through it. I've been through weed. It's bad, man. I'm like, John, there's a lot of people who've been through weed, and it's not that bad. But the fact you're drinking, like, I'm not gonna say drinking's any worse than weed, but like, it probably is like it's like pretty close to each other, but it's a little less worse, right? So weed's not any worse than alcohol for sure. So I had this argument with him so many times. Well, I'm sitting there in the room, talking to my cousins and stuff, and I know one cousin likes weed, a couple other probably are more or less maybe into it, but they're not that big into it, and
Brian.
well, I don't want to name drop anyone here, so, but yeah, 'cause some people, well,
It's only Amsbury. We can bleep shit if anything ever gets over 6 views.
exactly.
I promise.
I still don't want to name drop anything. But anyways, well, there's a couple of cousins that are kind of into it. And so I say something like, brought up something about weed. I can't remember what it was. Just something small. And we ended up diving into a conversation about weed. We only get like 45 seconds into it. And John kicks back his chair. Like, not kicks back, like rolls it back, gets up, and just leaves the goddamn room. For like 45 minutes, he wouldn't come back in the room. He was just like that infuriated that we're talking about weed. And like everyone was like agreeing about like how weed isn't that bad in the room. So he wanted to fight it, but he just left because he knew everyone was going to be against him. And it was so funny. Like, and so he just leaves, and one of my cousins like, this is fucking annoying. I go, what? Like, what is? Because everyone's so nice to John, and they're all stopping. And he goes, I'm not going to have him over in my place. Like, if I have to watch my friends stay around him, like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to bring him over anymore. So they all start going on this rant about John, and it's just like, it was pretty dang funny to finally you see, like, everyone's seeing him for who he was, and they just all on this John rant, and like, even later we end up bringing up the Yes Man movie, and like, that's how I try and live my life. Like, I try and be the yes man. Like, you want to go do this, Mike? Like, it's not my thing, but I'll go do it. Like, I won't yes man. Like, hey, Mike, give me $5. I'm like, no, I'm broke. But
yeah.
And then so John's brother goes, I think that's how John needs to. John needs to be a yes man. Like, start saying yes to things. I'm like, I think John needs to be a no man. Like, let's not push it. Like,
John needs to step away from society.
Right? Like, yeah. But I don't know. I guess he's pretty mean. Like, everyone's so nice to John. Like, everyone can come up and be like, you fucked your little brother's like girlfriend, and like, how wrong, underage girlfriend, like, how wrong is that, all this? But everyone's so nice to him. They're like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that you went through all that like trouble, John, and like, I'm sorry you have to go through the legal system. John is not like that to other people. He walked up to two of my cousins who put on a little bit of weight over the past like years. Like, they're getting like, they came out of their 20s. It's 20s is easy. They're about like 30 now, starting to put a little weight on. He goes up to one of them, or I think he went up to both of them. He's like, oh, hey guys, see, you've been putting some weight on. Like,
whoa.
What? Like, out of his way for no reason, just a dick. Like, John, no one comes up to you and was like, hey, John, see, you spent some time in jail since I've last seen you. Like, hey, John, you smell like a little bit of underage pussy. Like, no one says that to you, John. Be nice.
And like, seriously, and you're talking to John, and John will be like, oh, hey, I haven't seen you in a while.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing? Like, how's your life? And you're like, okay, John, I'm good. How are you? Like, are you all right now? Because like, I'm concerned because you might want to like hurt me or something.
Right.
So what's up, man? And he's just like, I don't know, but did you see her? I'm gonna fuck her, man. I saw. Oh my god, look at that pussy! And it's just like, oh my god, seriously,
Yeah,
he's a rapist.
He likes to lead into things too. He thinks he's being very sly, like, hey, how's it going? And like, in his mind, it's like, hey, how's it going? Talks to you for 30 minutes. Like, oh, who's that cute blonde over there? Like, is she single, kind of thing? Like, he talks to you a little bit, like, oh, she's pretty attractive. What he really says is like, hey, Mike, how's it going? Oh, who's that fucking blonde over there? You see the tits? Man, I want to fuck her so bad. That's literally the conversation he has.
Literally.
He thinks it's an hour-long conversation where he like sly, like, led into it. That's not how it is. Like,
yeah.
Did you see her? Oh my god, I don't remember her being that fucking hot.
Dude, okay, you did better. That's how he talks. He's always just like, she's better than I remember. Or like, I thought you said she was ugly. Like, John, we're not even talking about her, but okay.
Yeah.
Like,
how can I change the topic to her?
Exactly. That's what it revolves around. Like,
hey guys, do you remember when we were talking about birds that one day, and then we talked about women? Now I'm gonna talk about her.
Did I say something about how the black chick, or the chick I kept saying was black over Minecraft and Ventrilo? And this chick, she's from Florida, and she's like, yeah, I'm from Florida, but she like, I can't do it good, but she like talked kind of black, like, you can kind of hear it. And I go, because she said a couple slang words. I go, are you a sister? And she goes, what? Like, are you like, I can tell, like, you're a black chick, aren't you? She goes, no, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, you are. Like, okay, like, so she said no, so I can't believe her, but she just kind of sounded like it. So I'm just playing around. I'm like, yeah, you are. And she goes, no, I'm not. And I'm like, and then John instantly interjects. He goes, well, the only way you can prove it to us if you show us a picture of your boobs. Like, why, John? You could even joking, like, she's in a friendly mood. She's joking around. She's giggling. Like, if you really want to be a creeper, you could like slowly lead into that and maybe be successful. But you have to just jump right into it. Like, why? Like, can you ever look at another woman as a human being first, John? But
he's like, what's the quickest path to seeing sex?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, John, okay, it hasn't worked the last 30,000 times.
With
Change up your
anyone.
strategy, yeah. So it was just kind of nice to hear people kind of like finally they're understanding the real John. It's like, okay, I wasn't crazy. He really is this ridiculous. Like, because you start to wonder, like, why is no one else like flipping out about the shit he does? It's like, oh, you're all just trying to, like, you're still in that stage of trying to be nice to him. I went through that. I just went through it a little faster. But,
That's how you gotta handle weirdos.
mm-hmm. Like his brother became an electrician. His brother's a nice hard worker. He'll go for it, you know, like I think he's gonna do good. Well, then John all of a sudden, like his brother's been talking about this for a while. John all of a sudden, yeah, I'm gonna be an electrician. I'm like, why? Like that's kind of random. Like honestly, it's just because you're copying your brother, but I didn't say that. But like that's okay. And he's just like,
what's better than being a rapist?
yeah. Well, the thing I found out, I was telling like my mom, and she's like, yeah, it's because they were talking about it. It's like the only thing he can do that doesn't have a background check. I was like, oh, that's. But like John he's like a skinnier, whiter guy version of. Like, well, I shouldn't say version. He's a skinnier, whiter guy than me. Like you're not gonna make it in the field, John. Like he's just like. So I asked them all like, do you think John's gonna like make it as an electrician, guys? And they're like, without even like batting an eye, they're like, nope, he's too lazy. I'm like, oh, okay. So. I know, it's just pretty funny to see. So John's gonna try and become an electrician.
This will be a funny process.
He's taking one math class at Schmecker. Math class. He's skipping it already.
Wow.
Right, like what?
Dude, I have not skipped a single class this entire term. I have perfect fucking attendance, and
yeah.
I don't even have bad grades. I could skip a whole fuck load. But
Yeah.
you know what? I don't got a life. I just get high and go to class.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
I don't really get high and go to class, but I do go to class.
I wanted to, like, theoretically, I would love to go to class drunk one time, but I'll never do it.
Don't do it.
I would never do it.
Don't do it.
Because I'll make an ass of myself.
Don't do
Even
it.
if I could cover, I'd make an ass of myself.
Have I talked about getting that 40 at school yet? When I found a 40 on campus?
You told me about it, but I don't know if you told me about it on
I think
Facebook.
I might need to
Yeah, I've heard about it. I don't know if I heard the whole story.
Alright, so
Oh, I kind of remember, but it's pretty funny.
I just get out of fucking MATLAB, which is the worst programming language ever. It's like Excel on fucking
Yeah.
like acid, and it doesn't need to exist basically. And get the fuck out of there, and I'm walking this little path that's, you know, kind of between buildings. People don't really walk there a whole lot. There's
Kinda like an
usually
alley
bombs
almost,
and
yeah.
shit. Yeah, but it's between, you know, class buildings.
Yeah.
And there's just this paper bag on the ground, and I'm just like, I'm strolling along, not giving a fuck. I hate MATLAB. I want to forget about it as soon as possible. I'm looking for something better in my life, and I see this bag, and I look in it, and there's a 40.
Oh my god.
And there's some liquid in it, and like it looks like beer, and I'm like, okay, so this might not be piss. So
Yeah.
I'm like, get closer, and I like say something. I'm like, that's a fucking 40 to my buddy next to me, and I like get close to it, and it's like I see it's full and sealed. So I pull the fucking thing out. I'm like, this is a fucking 40. I'm like holding it up in my hand, like on campus. I don't know if you can have alcohol on a college campus. I doubt it. But I was like, all right. So I turned to my friend. I'm like, hey, hang on to this real quick. I'm going to open my backpack. We're going to put it in there. Let's go. Go to the next class. And so we do that. And there's like probably like 7 or 8 people who I've really never talked to before, who are in all of my classes,
Yeah.
who for the first impression of me, like face to face, is me finding a 40
Nice.
between classes and just getting way too excited about it.
Because they were all walking with you through the alley.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, we all pretty much have
fucking
classes
perfect.
together at this point. Yeah. So.
Perfect. I love making crazy first impressions.
And so that wasn't even the craziest thing that happened that day. This gets better. All right, so I go to the next class and I'm like kind of bragging to people. I'm like, I got this fucking 40. Like, this is bomb.com. Fucking check this out. I'm showing people it's old E. I don't even like that shit, but it's a 40 and it's
Yeah.
going to get me wasted. So here we go. And so we start our project for the day, which is like this pain in the ass test that we have to do with this equipment and shit. And we're short a partner and stuff. And I'm just like, fuck, whatever, man. I just want to get out here and drink this 40. But while we're getting told how to do this test, this guy who's in our group is like popping in and out of the window of the classroom. And he's like looking in, and he's seeing that the teacher is lecturing, and he's like jetting out. And he like comes back like 10 minutes later and looks in, and the teacher's still talking, so he like leaves. He doesn't go into the classroom. And then like 10 minutes into the project that we're doing outside, out in the field, he shows up and he's fucking wasted.
Nice.
Every time that he came to the window, he was like, oh, he's still talking. I'm leaving. I'm gonna go take another shot. So he'd go out and take another shot and come back, and he's like, oh, he's still teaching. I'm gonna go take another shot. And so he's just like wasted, hammered, and we do this project with him. And we get done like third in the class. It's amazing. And the teacher has a policy: if you don't show up to class on time, you get like 2% off of your grade.
Oh shit!
And he goes up to the guy and he's like, "So, you think you can copy this work out of their book and put it into your own?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, have a good day." And he didn't dock him.
Wow.
Yeah, the teacher is just kind of like, "I know you hammered, but then again, I know this isn't the first time you've taken this class and you're kind of a good student, so I'm gonna let this slide."
Just hoping that like maybe this 2% will help you pass.
I was
This
like,
time.
it was kind of a cool thing for the teacher to do, but man, the dude was hammered.
Nice. I know that drunk guy. I kind of already told you guys about the one I found. I came home too. But he wakes up in the morning, and when I got shown my apartments originally, there was this chick and this chick and two of her friends showed me to the place, and so I met two of them. One was a brony, so I didn't really spend much time talking to her. The other two I kind of met. So
How did you know she was a brony just immediately?
I think it came up in conversation because that's usually when I'm like, I just ask them right off the bat. So if they say yes, I don't talk to them forever again. But so
You can smell it.
Huh?
It's a smell.
yeah, it's true. You can usually smell it. Well, I mean, to be fair, you can just usually smell anyone who hasn't taken a bath in 2 weeks. But so I know these two girls kind of distantly. Like I shouldn't say no. Like I know who they are. They're acquaintances.
He's had sex with them.
Multiple times. No. So, wake up in the morning, the drunk guy's awake. Well, he's sober now. And so he's like talking like, he's already kind of funny a little bit, but he's telling me, he's like, well, like that, like, I'm like, yeah, you got pretty drunk last night. You're pretty crazy. He goes, that's not crazy. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I've gotten a lot crazier beforehand. I'm like, oh, well, like, who hasn't? That wasn't just a light night of drinking or something. He's like, no, I mean, like, since I've been here. I'm like, well, I'm sure too. Like, that was already pretty crazy, and I haven't been here that long. And he goes, yeah, it's not as crazy as the time I got my stalking, like, charge thing. I'm like, what?
Oh my god.
And I'm like, so this 19-year-old, he's like 19, so he doesn't have that long to even, like, get stalking charged. And I'm like, what do you, like, does this involve the police? He's like, no, it doesn't involve, like, it wasn't, like, a literal, like, charge, but, like, the RAs, like, the room people that run the whole campus, kind of know about me. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you, like, he's like, do you know, blah, blah, I'm like, the one with red hair, looks to the side, it's like, yeah, I'm like, yes, I know, we're like, what do you do? And he's like, well, we do this, they play this game every turn, it's called, like, a Nerf war. They all get a card from someone's playing, and their job is to eliminate the person with the card, so they, like, with a Nerf ball, so they hit them, they get the person they got out, they get their card, so that it's eventually going to boil down to one person, they win.
Assassin, yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, so I got this chick's card, and like I got her out, but like she like got herself back in because she talked, like she said I was stalking her. When I was like, well, what'd you do? And he's like, it was stupid. Like I sat out, I got a lawn chair and a book that I was reading. And I sat outside her door for 4 hours, and when she walked out, I got her. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of like fucked up, right? Like you sat outside her door for 4 hours.
He wasn't being sneaky though. If he was just in the hallway in plain sight, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious to me. I could see her being a little bit upset about it, but it definitely wasn't stalking.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, so like I didn't get in trouble. That's why I said, I go, so you got stalking for that? He goes, no, they let that one go. They just give her a card back, and then so she's back in the game. Well, these brilliant people didn't like swap cards for him, so he's still her target. She's still his target. So I'm like, so did you ever get her out? I was like, oh yeah, I got her out. Like, I'm like, it's like, did I go over fine? He's like, no, like that's where I got the stalking from, is that they told me I need to stop like doing this. But like, basically, he's like, yeah, so I found out like, so I found out her schedule or whatever, and I stopped. I'm like, whoa, you found out her schedule? And he's just like, yeah, I had her schedule. So anyway, and I'm like, whoa, how did you get her schedule? And he's just like, oh, like, I just like I kept walking into like the classrooms around, like on his break or when he's not in class. He just walk into classrooms, walk in, be like, oh, sorry, wrong class. And he'd walk out. The whole time he did that, he just scanned the room to see if she was in it. And he did it for like a week straight and found out her schedule, right? What the fuck?
Okay.
So what? Right? Yeah. And he's completely like this is normal. Like the way he's telling me, he's like, yeah, I just did this, and like got pissed off about it. So I'm like, what the fuck? So you walk into all her classrooms and got her whole schedule. He's like, yeah. I'm like, how'd you find out about this? He's like, well, I told her. I'm like, what? What do you, like, how did you tell her? She's just like, he was outside her door one time again. She, like, told him to go away. He's like, I don't have to get you outside your door. I'll just get you at class on blah, blah. She goes, how do you know I have class on blah, blah? He's like, I know all your classes. Like, it's, again, like, it's normal. And she's just like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, I know all your classes. I know when the days are off. So then she went to the RAs, and they basically told her, like, we know this is fucking creepy. There's nothing we can do about it. Like, he's allowed to know your schedule. Most people just wouldn't go do it. So basically, all you can do is...
He's a super fan.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do. He just wants your autograph.
Yeah. So, like, basically, like, we know you don't want to just quit the game, but basically, the best you can do is quit.
Spray a piece of paper with your perfume. Give it to him.
Yeah.
He might go away for at least a week.
And they're just like, just make it obvious you're not interested in him, you don't like him, and just, it'll pass, hopefully, and, like, there's not much we can do, sadly, but like, we get what you're saying, but it's just out of our hands. So, they didn't she's still his target. So, I'm like, so what did you do? Like, did you eventually get her? He's like, oh yeah, I got her a couple days after, like, I gave her the note. I'm like, what do you mean the note? He goes, I almost cried when he told me of laughter. He said he took his Halo clan tag or whatever. He drew it on a piece of paper, and underneath it wrote,
Halo?
He wrote soon, and slid it under her door. So she just gets this note with his Halo clan tag, and it says, soon. And he's just like, doesn't get why he got a stalker thing out of the whole thing. Like,
It's really weird.
you should be happy it's not an official stalker. Like, you should be happy that she's got a restraining order against you.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah. That was so funny. And then that's when, like, well, the whole reason this conversation got started is, like, this other chick, though. I'm like, so, like, what'd you do to blah, blah, to make her pissed off? He was like, I don't know. Like, the other guy's like, you know. He's like, well, like, I know, like, every time I get drunk, I, like, right, let's fuck, and, like, slip it under her door. I'm like, stop slipping notes under doors. This is not normal.
Gee,
Like, you are slightly my hero, but, like, you're my hero of stories.
Yeah, it's like all that
about
stuff
you.
is funny, but it all depends on, like, what's his intention. Is he like doing it to be creepy, or was he like, I really just want to win the game? I couldn't give a fuck about her.
That was the other part. They're like, okay, you gotta stop doing this because like they can't make him stop, but they're like, you gotta stop doing this because this is like really messing with her psychologically. He's like, well, of course. And they're like what? He goes, like, I'm playing this game of, like, psychological warfare. And they're like, what? Like, he's like, yeah, like, I'm, like, playing this at all angles. Like, again, completely normal. Like, he doesn't get what's wrong with it, but he's playing Nerf wars with he's playing psychological battles with Nerf wars. Like, he's like, yeah, it's all, like, into their head, freaking them out when they last expect it. You get him. I'm like, or you could just, like, wait for them to stand in the hallway and then, like, get them. But
say hello.
Right.
Maybe say, I'm happy today. How are you? Is the weather good for you today? Like, it's not raining. We're in Portland. That's special, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if he went through all the time to do all that stuff,
Right.
like looking in classrooms, why didn't he just shoot her while she was in class or something?
Right. And, like, so she's so, like, he spent so much time trying to get her, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, I'm like, so you got her revenge out? And she's like, yeah, like, I got her or whatever. And I'm like, so, like, but you, like, did you win? Are you still in? He goes, no, it's still going. I'm like, well, did you, like, are you still in? He's like, oh, no, I was doing, like, a photo shoot with some dudes, and then they got me right out right after I got her out. I'm like, you spent a week researching the classes she goes to, and you didn't even win? Like, you got her out, and that's it? Like,
Or whatever's fun for him.
you're right, yeah, it's just the fact that she's a chick and he's attracted to her like that. Like,
Now, is he attracted to her? Or is
he has to be, because he didn't spend any more time on the next person, so.
Oh.
It's like, it's gotta be some creepy.
That's what
thing.
I was wondering. Is he a weirdo with weird intentions, or was he just like, I don't care about the girl, I just want to play a
like,
game?
Well, the funny thing is, like, the whole story, I thought, I kinda got it, like, he's just super hardcore about that. Until he's, like, didn't spend any time on the other chick, I was like, it's kinda weird. He plays it off and like, he doesn't even try and play it off. Like, he seems like he only cared about the game, but, like, why didn't he spend as much time on the next student to get out? I don't know.
Yeah, alright.
But that was just too fucking hilarious. Like, it's like completely just like, yeah, it's like I just walked in all the classes. Like, it's really easy to find someone's schedule out. Like, yeah, it's easy. It's just not normal.
Yeah, nobody does that.
I love hearing about it. Like, to me, personally, that was such a funny story. But what the fuck, dude? Like, I could never do that. He's like, I do plenty of crazy shit. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, look at this picture. He shows me a picture of his ass. He's like, well, like, thanks for the picture of your ass. Like, what the heck?
What?
He's like, you see that mark across it? I'm like, yeah, I couldn't quite miss it. He's like, yeah, me and my buddies were camping one time, and they decided they wanted to brand my ass. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? I'm like, how drunk were you? He goes, no, this was before I was drinking. Like, you just sober, let them brand your ass. Like, yeah, I'm like, you're an interesting man, sir. But yeah, I've met some interesting people so far.
That's insane.
So would you guys say that this podcast that we have going here is video game based?
Yeah.
Well,
we're
one
just
of the
about to
critical
talk
hits.
about the
Okay.
new consoles, right?
Okay, I've got two serious video game things before we talk about the console bullshit.
What's number one?
Okay, number one is I have a little bit to talk about Grand Theft Auto 5. Just a quick update.
Okay.
Grand Theft Auto 5 versus San Andreas.
All right.
It's that big battle. Those are the two best,
Yeah.
probably two best Grand Theft Auto
Yeah.
games. Jack, what do you say about San Andreas? Was it better than Vice City or
Oh yeah, I think San Andreas is like among the best video games.
Yeah.
it's a really good game. So
Yeah.
San Andreas has way better music.
Does it?
It does.
I do remember. That's how I found out the song, but I can't remember I'm just spacing out right now because I'm drinking a little bit. But the Ooh Barracuda song on the radio. That's how I found out about the.
Heart.
Yeah, by heart. Yeah. So it's like that's how I found out. Like, so yeah, it had some good music in there, or also your own personal Jesus.
It was
by
set in the 90s.
Depeche
Yeah.
Mode. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was set in the 90s. There was some really good 90s music, but overall, there was better classic rock. There was just better general mix of everything.
Yeah.
And on this one, you just have basically the best of Tony Hawk Pro Skater and some classic rock, and that's it. You don't have any kind of metal or alternative, anything like that on the new Grand Theft Auto on 5.
Really?
Not at all. And so it's really a disappointment. They left out a major sector of music there that I enjoy. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to hear the cars going around, but I don't want to hear the music. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to change my audio settings, I suppose. But
Yeah, can you change it? Because I remember I played San Andreas on the Xbox, and what you could do is have it play.
Your own music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you rip your CDs to the Xbox, and you just set it to play your own music.
Interesting.
So I wonder if you have music on your PlayStation.
I hope.
Though I did like that you could with the radio kind of made it feel a little more real, but there were plenty of times you could break
Yeah.
into someone's car and they're playing the CD, so it still felt pretty real.
And it's almost like one of those things where it's like, come on, just put in a little bit extra money, get some more music, just get as much as
Because you
possible.
went over the top on everything else.
Or I wonder if they even did, because I've read reports about how they got the exclusive single from some rapper and some pop star and all this stuff. So maybe they spent all their money and they just
They
didn't
might
think
have.
about.
They didn't hit
music.
everybody. Yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't hit everybody. But yeah. And there is some really killer music on there that I don't normally listen to. But other people who might be into weird soul funk or whatever would be
Yeah.
like, yes.
I can see some people now being like, yeah, I do miss the radio thing. And then they're gonna do make CD remixes of the radio stuff thrown into there just for Grand Theft Auto.
And so I think there's 5 Bob Marley songs on one of the stations, and there's not one Bob Marley on 4,
Really?
Rasta stations on San Andreas or something atrocious like that. It's not that bad, but
Yeah, San Andreas
there's
did
no
have
Bob
good
Marley.
stations. Yeah.
And San Andreas is you have your guy and you build his his points or whatever, basically his stats, and it's on Grand Theft Auto 5 it happens so much faster because you split it between 3 guys, which is kind of crazy because all of a sudden you suck at flying and then you play for 15 minutes and you're the best guy in the game at flying, and it's I don't know, I almost might want to just rather be one guy and get
Yeah.
upright,
Yeah.
Or the other two characters to be implemented, but you just choose which one story you want to follow. You get some playthrough, you play through each storylines.
It's amazing though, I guess this can lead into the console gaming. I have another topic though that we need to talk
Yeah,
about.
go ahead and do both.
So San Andreas, how many gigs could you put on a DVD disc? 4?
4.3?
4.2, 4.3, something like that?
Yeah.
And
About
if you
4.
double layered it, you could get it up to 8.
Yeah.
But they never did that for PS2 games, I don't think. Do you know? Maybe they did. Even if they did, it would be
don't-
max 8 gigs.
I think they only. I might be wrong, but I think they only started doing dual layer games in the next generation. I know Xbox
Yeah.
and Wii had dual layer games. Xbox 360.
Yeah. And so that's happening, and then they get Grand Theft Auto 5, which is basically graphically, loading wise and everything, 10 times, honestly. 10 times.
They're
what San Andreas was.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe, yeah. It's
Rockstar's
really
always been kind of ugly, which is like their only like real fault, and they fixed it.
yeah.
It's an impressive jump. I've been
Yeah.
playing this week, but what's the next jump going to be like? Is it going to be that crazy? Or?
Yeah, see, I don't know. Like, I think graphics are, for me, I can see good graphics. I know what good video is, but I just personally don't care.
Yeah,
I
Like,
agree.
I
It's
can
not that
play,
big
I
of a
can play
deal.
like Metal Gear Solid 1 and be like, these graphics are fine, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, like the most important, like I can go back and play the Nintendo 64 games all day long. James Bond might be a little bit harder because like I think the shooters like you want it to be a little more crisp if you're actually hitting them. But other than that, like I just care about the clunky controls.
Yeah.
That's the biggest flaw to like going back and playing old games. It makes it hard.
But for people who really super want realism, I don't know how much is left. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of think that, like how much how much more can they go? But then at the same time, when you look at a video game, for the most part, when it's actual in-game, not just videos, like I can still tell it's not real life.
So what? You guys are saying so Grand Theft Auto 5 is on like an 8 gig disc and uses probably like
Well, wait,
five-
no, it's on a Blu-ray, right?
is it?
Yeah, it's
Blu-ray?
2 discs on. Well, the PS3 only uses Blu-rays, and the Xbox it's 2 discs. So, oh fuck, how big is a Blu-ray disc?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but
It varies. It does vary because they have not only double layer but multiple layers
yeah,
beyond that.
I know like
They can go up to 50
like
gigs or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say 50. So, assuming let's say the Xbox version, that's 2 DVDs, so that's like 16 something.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think, like the amount of gigs more is going to, exponentially increase the detail.
That's why they haven't gone back to cartridges.
And I'm wondering what's the next detail level going to be for these games because this one's nuts as it is.
Yeah,
And I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that every
okay,
time-
all right. This is a better subject. All right. Favorite movie that has a lot of video game play or somehow plot based around video games. And this is just because I watched a real cool movie about it lately.
Well, like, what's the example? Like, what do
Yeah,
you
what's
mean?
the one you?
Grandma's Boy.
Oh, okay. So, kind of about video games or the like gamers or this.
There's quite a bit of gaming involved in it, yeah.
I feel like I should know this.
I feel like I'm a doucher if I said, but like, I don't know. I thought Scott Pilgrim was kind of pretty funny, but sadly, like every time someone's like brings up Grandma's Boy, like I've actually never seen all of Grandma's Boy. I saw parts of it, and I've never gotten around to finishing it. Then someone brings it up, and like, okay, my goal is to go finish it. Later that night, I show up home, completely forgot to finish it. I've never finished watching it yet.
The best part's the first 45 minutes or so when you meet JP and his crazy robot self. And then after that, it's just like, okay, the story happens about as you thought it would, and it's pretty funny. Good, thank you. But,
I'm trying to think of any I've seen. Like, I know probably as a kid I probably saw some because all I liked was video games.
I can't really think of a lot of movies, honestly. Like the only things I wouldn't even thought of Grandma's Boy. The only thing I can think of, the only video game movies, like documentaries I've seen, like about Minecraft and stuff, or
The Wizard.
or just Scott Pilgrim, and that's the only video game thing I can think of.
Well, what was it? I remember, I think it was like Mallrats or something, had a scene where somebody was playing hockey on the Sega, and he left the system on overnight, because like he's like, it's a really good season. He wanted to finish the game, and there's no saves in it.
yeah, that's right. I think that, yeah.
Somehow, like, that stuck in my mind because I watched that show as a kid and I didn't really get, like, all the adult humor, but I was like, he's playing Sega in a movie. Yeah.
Dude, that's another one I want to see. I have Mallrats on my computer because I went and downloaded everything that Silent Bob or Kevin Smith was in. And so, like, I have it, I just haven't watched it yet.
Mallrats?
Yeah. I love everything.
What would you rate Mallrats, Jack? What would you, out of 10?
It's okay. I don't remember that much of it. I just remember, like, yeah, I like Jay and Silent Bob, and I'm like, yeah, funny. And then I watch Mallrats, I'm like, oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. I know,
Yeah.
like Clerks, I love.
Yeah,
Kevin Smith,
Clerks
anything
is
he makes almost
great.
I watch.
Clerks versus Mallrats.
Oh, of course, Clerks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
I haven't seen Mallrats in a while, so I don't know. Why? Do you think it's good or bad?
Mallrats is unique. It's like just something about just not giving a fuck about anything in that movie.
That's what I like about.
I could probably stand to
Kevin
watch
Smith
it
is
again.
The guy who plays Silent Bob is a director. Like anything he puts his name on, like I trust him enough. I'll give it a shot. Kind of like Will Ferrell. Anything he makes, I'll give it a shot. Sure, there's like that every now and then you get that Bewitched or something that's terrible, but like I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. Have you guys seen anything Adam Sandler has done recently?
Ooh.
Recently.
Oh fuck! All right, I have actually kind of a funny story because I you know,
There's one.
I actually watched one of his more recent movies today, like his most
one?
recent one, Grown Ups 2.
Oh, okay.
Grown Ups 2.
I don't hate it, but I haven't seen.
Did you see it?
Sounds terrible.
I
haven't
but I
seen
don't
it,
like
but
it.
God, there are some beautiful women in that movie. Oh my god, jeez, seriously, some of the women in this movie are like, I don't even know why they're not in the movies that I watch because they can't be that much more expensive than the movies that I'm like. Oh my god, just pay for them, please.
Yeah.
But anyway, the jokes that he pulls in these movies are like more over the top than he ever did with Happy Gilmore or anything. Like the things that he says. Oh my god, I'm surprised he's not like castrated by some Mormon like in the streets.
Nice.
Like he says the most ridiculous shit. Like at the end of this movie he says something like, spoiler alert motherfuckers, I don't even give a shit. If you like Adam Sandler at this point, go fuck off. But no, I'm just kidding. But I'm seriously, I have to say this.
Yeah.
It's something about how he's going to have sex with his wife and he's telling his newborn kid who hasn't been born yet to watch his head. Because he's coming in there.
Yes.
I'm like, in this like family movie.
Yeah, right? Free family. That's awesome.
alright, I don't know. That's not that racy, I don't think.
For like a movie that like people really bring like their 8-year-olds to this movie.
What happened in Happy Gilmore that was worse than that? That made it rated higher and it's not family friendly.
I don't know. Maybe that just sounds like a typical kind of movie to me, like sex jokes, fart
I think
jokes.
it's more like the times have changed.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, exactly. Like that kind of stuff sounds like the joke in every movie that everyone would go and see. It's just like, get it? Because the vagina, the baby's up in that vagina. My penis is going to be in that vagina.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe later in the day I'll go fart out a turd in the toilet, you know?
Right.
I just don't know why that's so much worse than like beating the shit out of an alligator with a hockey stick and stuff like that. Like it was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And this is just kind of like, it makes me uncomfortable and my mom's there and that's weird and she's laughing because if she wasn't, we'd probably all be like, whoa. And otherwise it's just like, what?
I thought you were gonna harp on this funny people, like, cause I know like so many people hated funny people. I'm like, I thought it was really good. It had a good amount of like, it was like a serious thing, but also had a good amount of humor. I don't know. I liked it. I still watch most of the stuff he makes.
I don't really pay attention to him. I just saw the thing today and
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? He's saying these things that are like way worse. He's talking about like this like ridiculous racist shit. Like he never did this before. It was like way cleaner. What the fuck?
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Yeah. I love Adam Sandler forever. He'll like, like I'll give most of the things a shot. Still like.
He's just like chilling out with all Crazy Eyes and David Spade and all those motherfuckers. Chris Rock just
Right.
making movies like.
Well, the guy the
Ooh,
guy
check
who
it
does
out.
everything,
We
the
can do
You
what
Can
the
Do It
fuck
guy.
we want. What's that?
The You Can Do It guy. He throws in everything, right? I heard he wasn't in that movie. And like even once, because usually he'll like give him at least a 5-second cameo where he's like, "You can do it."
Adam Sandler does that for so many people. Yeah,
Well, what's the guy-
if he did, if he stopped, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Rob Schneider. He like threw Rob Schneider in every one of his films, even just for 5 seconds. And I heard he wasn't in it at all.
Well, is Grown Ups considered an Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm almost positive.
Yeah, I thought, like,
his
we're-
wife is his wife in the movie.
Yeah, but it seemed like how like even if it's not your movie, how hard is it to pull some strings and be like just 5 seconds? I just want him to be like, "You
Yeah.
can do it," you know. So I don't know, but I also kind of heard that he wasn't in it from a somewhat unreliable. It wasn't that they were unreliable. It's just more like who? I'm like
They
Rob
were on
Schneider,
the
and they're like,
streets
I
and they
don't
were
think so.
high and
Right.
like on like PCP angel dust.
Yeah, no, it's more like there's like two shelters. Like I don't know who Rob Schneider is. Like really? He's the guy from the first one. Like how do you not remember him?
Times changing.
Yeah, but yeah, I love his. I don't know. At least he's not like too. He hasn't gotten too bad. Like what's his name? Jim Carrey went and did like 23 for a little bit. Like he did some other stupid stuff. Like why Mr. Popper's Penguins? Like just terrible, terrible movies. Why? You were great. You were one of the best. Liar Liar was amazing. Yeah. I know. I don't watch movies that much though, so.
Yeah, same here. I really, especially since like it seems like everybody watches movies, and that's I like movies and I want to know about movies, but I just do not watch movies.
There's so much shit out there. It's
I know. There's so many movies that are just terrible. When everyone's always just like, "Oh, what movie you seen? What's this and that and this?" And they're so like, I don't know. A lot of people I talk to are so persistent about like, "What's the last movie you seen? What movies do you like? Movies this, movies that." I'm like, well, I guess the most recent movie I like would be 20 years old by now.
Yeah.
It's like.
Well, like, I was pretty proud because me and my brother were talking the other day. I'm like, about Hunger Games. And I heard great things about Hunger Games 1. And, like, everyone loved it, right? So I go
Is there more than one?
There's 2 now. There's, like, supposed to be at least 3, I think. But, so I heard so many great things about it. Super hyped up. I'm like, finally, I'm going to watch Hunger Games 1. I watched it. And I was just like, this is so dumb. I almost quit the movie at this predictable part where I'm like, another spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet, but if you haven't seen it yet, you don't care anyways. But she's supposed to repress some judges, and they're eating some pig. The whole, like, stereotypical, like, long pig, roasted barbecue, has an apple in his mouth. And she's supposed to impress the judges. No one's caring, no one's watching. Like, I can guarantee, like, she's going to shoot the apple out of the pig's mouth with her bow and impress the judges. Sure enough, she shoots it out. I'm just like, this is so obvious. I feel like shutting the movie off is like, predictable. And sure enough, the rest of the movie was terrible. And I talked to my little brother. He's like, yeah, I think it was kind of like, it's like Twilight. It's like, it was fine when 13-year-old girls were like a demographic. Now they're not a demographic now. Now they are a genre. Like, it's gotten bad. So, like, we're sitting here talking about how everyone loves Twilight, and like, Twilight is Hunger Games. Everyone that likes it is, a 13-year-old girl. So then later that night, or the next day at night, my mom's with her boyfriend, the one same one, Jesse, the one I moved his car with my car and all that. So, yeah, you remember Jesse. So he's like, I want to go see. We're going to go see a movie. So we show up there, and apparently we're seeing Hunger Games. And I was going to have to see the Hunger Games number 2, except for luckily it was too late to see. I was like, thank God. But he's literally went to the movie theater, brought my mom. My mom doesn't care about Twilight. He's brought my mom to see Twilight. Like, what, Mom? What? Right? What the fuck?
Yeah.
So, I'm just like, I thought I was going to be a 13-year-old girl for one night, but nope. Can you imagine a grown man going to see Twilight?
That's weird.
That's fucking weird.
Especially if, like, even if, like, they were dragged to do it by their girlfriend, I still think, like, that's dumb. But for them to be the one suggesting it and going to it, I'm like, what?
The only way a grown man can say he saw Twilight is like, I did it for the girlfriend, I went drunk. Like, that's the only way you can say it. But to be, like, dragging my mom there, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, even, like, yeah. Even, I wouldn't even put that past an adult. Yeah, you'd have to be, like, a teenager who gets dragged there by your teenage girlfriend.
Right, exactly. So, I don't know, that was pretty weird. I mean, I got dragged to see Twilight number 1 from my ex-girlfriend, but, well, she was a girlfriend at the time, but, like, still, like, what the, like, no. Just no. That was not even at the movie theater. That was at home.
Yeah.
Ugh, what the fuck? But
shitty.
Ian's a huge Twilight fan though, so.
Yeah!
But that's a different story.
That's the same story.
Yeah, Ian was there.
Always.
I can't remember the last movie I saw in theaters.
What's that movie, like, out of 10, like, what would you give that movie that you ended up seeing?
We ended up seeing, like, I think it's Delivery Man, the guy who he's a sperm donor, ended up having, like, 500 something children. That movie was about a 6. Like, honestly, like, 5 being average, but by average also I mean, like, 5 being pretty terrible, because the average movie is terrible to me, so, I know, like, it was at least, it was better than this average stupid movie that I hate terribly to go see, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple parts I laughed in, a couple parts that were, like, pretty touching, but other than that.
It's still a Hollywood movie.
Yeah, it was still just kind of boring, monotonous, and somewhat predictable, so.
Seemed like kind of a tacky premise.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, I guess you can look at it that way, but really, like,
well, like, to me, like, it's one of those movies, like, they do this every now and then, it's like, completely original idea, but it's woven together by a bunch of stereotypical things you've seen in every movie. So the whole premise itself is unique. Like, how many times have they ever done a movie about a sperm donor having so many children? Never. But all in all, like, it's the same kind of like plenty of stories are just Romeo and Juliet, but they threw a unique scenario on it.
Might as well be
They have the idea,
titled,
then they just staple like the game plan to it. They're like, all right.
So like basically the best way to say it is like it's a completely original shirt, but it's woven together by the same fabric you've seen over and over.
You can switch out the concept and it would be the
Exactly.
exact same movie.
Yeah. You could really pull a couple of the ideas out and plug another in and it'd be a different movie that you've seen 20 times,
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't bad. At least it made me laugh a couple times and it wasn't anything like, oh my god, kill me now. Like, so. Yeah, except for the fact that I saw a movie last night or 2 nights ago. Other than that fact, I can't think of the movie I'd seen before that. Like, I can't even remember the last movie I've seen in theaters. Or I can't even remember the last movie I paid to see. Like, they've all been torrented or, like, sitting at someone's house.
Yeah.
I went and watched Jurassic Park in 3D in an IMAX theater with, like, 3 or 4 other, like, people, basically, in the whole place.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
It was nuts. It was, like, at 12:30 in the daytime at, yeah.
Was it any good?
Portland. It was fucking awesome. It was
Nice.
3D Jurassic
Yeah.
Park.
It sounds
Steven
amazing.
Spielberg went frame for frame and did the entire thing himself and was like, if it didn't look right, I just told him, fuck it, we aren't doing this. Like, it had to look right.
Nice.
I don't know if you've seen any too many movies in 3D, but
Only 1 or 2, but they're...
some of them that went back and did it after the fact, like, of course, Jurassic Park was not filmed with, a
Yeah.
3D camera and 2 cameras, nothing like that. But some of them that did that and went back and redid it look fucking stupid. Looks
Yeah.
like Paper Mario.
Yeah.
But this shit looks legit, and it was
I was
worth it.
pretty impressed because, like you said, I don't care about fancy high def graphics or anything, but 3D, like I thought it was again another progression to like some graphic thing I don't care about. But I went and saw Battleship, and it was a terrible fucking. I'd rather watch Twilight than watch Battleship. It's terrible, but it was in 3D. So even the movie being as terrible as it was, I was like, this 3D thing is pretty fucking awesome. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't even care about high def. And when they do 3D, it's.
Have you seen 3D, Jack?
I don't think I have.
And not in theaters or on your own TV screen, nothing?
No.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think I've even seen, like, I was thinking about the 3DS. I really want to see one still, but...
I have a 3D TV.
Do you?
Yeah. And I've seen a couple movies on it now in 3D, and it's pretty cool.
That's the
Like,
first
it's
time I saw it.
legit.
It's at Best Buy.
But it's probably like there's nothing like the movie theater experience. Like you
Yeah,
still
I
can't
agree.
beat the 3D and movie
Nice.
theater.
Even then,
experience.
though, the TV experience, like, that's where I first saw it, was at Best Buy. And I'm like, oh, this is so stupid. Like, this, like, finally I can demo the next stupid thing, like, progression in graphics. And I put these, like, glasses, these, like, sunglasses things on at Best Buy, watching this stupid movie I didn't care one shit about. I'm like, this is pretty fucking awesome.
yeah.
I actually like this. This is cool. Because I thought it was, like, I thought it was going to be done really cheesy. And kind of like the old, like, you see, like, something fly out of the screen at you, but for the most part, still 2D. Or, like, one thing sticks 3D off, it's not like that. It's hard to explain,
Yeah.
but it's cool.
It's like you can see it in your own resolution. Like it's all in super high resolution. There's not a focus on one part. You can choose where to focus. So it's nice.
So maybe it's good that it came back, because now with HD it works a
I
lot
think
better.
that they're going to be able to do it better than they did in the 80s for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
it never really took off back then.
Yeah.
But
To me, I'm just
a lot of the same
doubtful.
concepts though.
Yeah.
Like,
The
I was
sets
doubtful,
hasn't
like,
changed.
There's so many idiots who don't care about quality. It's like, because most movies are a prime example of why they don't care about quality, because most people will eat low quality shit up. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, 3D is going to be another low quality thing that people eat up. So I was expecting very bad, and it was impressive.
It's funny because, well, still, I mean, you go on Netflix and you search their 3D movies, it's absolute ridiculousness.
Is it low?
Just like the amount of movies isn't bad. They have probably 40, 50 movies. But it's just like, what the fuck is this? I've never seen this before in my
Yeah.
life. Like, it's like Tomb Mummy, and it's like all about this 3D mummy who's like
Yeah.
being on. It's like, why would you? I don't even know.
I know,
It's not like The Hobbit 3D. Fuck yes or anything.
What do you mean? Because like when I had 3DS, I'd watch the stupidest shit. Like meet like a penguin documentary or something, on the 3DS, just because I was like, well, I watched everything cool that was available for 3D, which is like 3 things. Like now I'm just gonna watch other things just to experience the 3D. So I guess like in one way, just is to kind of to contest how awesome 3D is. Like I will literally watch a stupid documentary about some bullshit just to experience the 3D. Is that cool?
Just because it makes it that much cooler.
Like I'm gonna go back and I might watch Shrek.
Yeah.
Movies like that are like actually, when they actually animate them are in a 3D kind of world.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about
And
them.
so you look at those ones and I'm wondering, are those going to look even sweeter than the ones filmed?
Yeah. That's the cool thing about
Like people.
or like
I haven't
any
watched
games.
one yet though.
Yeah, well, any games, like all the video games we play are rendered, like they're made 3D.
3D gaming I've heard is pretty sweet.
So yeah, it's not like an extra step for them to take to make things 3D. It's just more like, oh well, now you have the screen. Now you can play it 3D because we don't have to do anything extra. We just have to release the raw file. Like now it's not like condensed down to 2D. It looks really cool and it's easy to do.
It's a lot more. It's a lot like a bigger file for a 3D file because it's 2 screens, obviously, and it's getting to the point where we can fucking handle that on our optic fiber bullshits and whatnots. But but
Speaking of good old fiber optic internet, I remember leaving my buddy's house right when they're installing the fiber optic lines. I'm in good old like big city Portland, and I'm getting like laggy as shit internet. It's like so irritating. Like I'm in the heart of Portland, and I'm getting fucking bad internet.
Really?
It's weird, yeah.
How fast is it?
I think it's only 40 megs.
Whoa.
Wait, down?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's not
40 megs?
slow.
That's
Staten-
awesome.
Well,
No.
You also have 4 roommates going off of that. But Staten, you can get like 80, no problem.
Yeah, that's true.
The fuck?
Yeah.
You get very slow internet where you live.
Well, no, I know that, but still, like, I know people who, like, my other friends are like, yeah, man, 20, like, we went for the big package.
Yeah.
Dude, I get over 200.
Megabits?
Yes.
Wow.
Jesus.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
So, like, what's your download speed in bytes, then?
Easily 2 megabytes.
Nice.
I know, like my dad
It's
was
crazy.
usually like I'm on uTorrent or something. They'll torrent something, and completely like legal and free, and it'll be like I don't know, maybe downloading like a gig a second or something like that, and then I'll click on another thing. Like it's like the cap is literally what is coming into you, not like you're not getting bottlenecked at your internet. You're getting bottlenecked at like as much as they can send at you because like I'll click on another thing, expect to share the download. Like now they're both going at 500. It'll be like nope, this one's going at a gig too. Click another one, it's like, okay, now they've all dropped down maybe, but like they're all like all 3 downloading a gig. It's like, oh damn.
How much do you guys pay for that?
The one at my mom's, I don't know how much she pays for, probably like 60. I don't know what she had, but I know Staten for 80 megabits is like $75 a month, I think.
I paid 30 for mine, but I split it with 4 people, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we get cable, which I don't use. I just stream my own shit, download my own shit, but.
Yeah.
But like I'm seriously like, well, I'm really frustrated. Like I have this little netbook and I have a desktop, and Laven gave me some wireless card for it, and it's a USB wireless card, and so I was like wondering why it was going so slow.
Chinese dongle?
I was gonna say it's probably his broken shit, but keep going.
Well, I looked to see if it was busted or something. Well, I mean, I looked to, it was really slow, and then I don't know what it is about it. Like, so I have to choose between a powerful desktop with really slow internet or a netbook, which goes really slow because I only got 1 gig in it right now. Ian's runs fine, but I only have a gig in it, and it runs really slow, but it's got decent internet. So I have to choose between slow computer, decent internet, and I swear it reminds me of my Windows 98 days. Like, literally, when I click my volume to turn it up in the volume bar, it takes 5 seconds to pop up.
Yeah.
It's
It's
ridiculous.
awful.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So
Can't you go to the store and get a cable and plug into the router?
I'm going to do that now. I didn't want to like get a 25-footer or something like that, but there's no other option. But
Yeah.
so I don't know if it's the problem. I'm going to reformat my computer because this is the weird thing. I took my computer ran fine all the time.
Are you talking about the netbook or the desktop?
My desktop.
Okay.
I brought it downstairs, left it there for about like 3 or 4 days, kind of thing. Brought it up to my apartment in Portland, and I plugged it in. It sat there. Nothing had happened to it. It worked fine before. My Windows Media Player interface had changed. Like the little background image it does changed, and then the actual like thing, like the whole like not just the little picture thing that but the video that it does, but like the whole thing changed. Like it was something annoying. Like I had to switch it because it either didn't have the next or back song buttons, or it didn't have the pause and stop buttons. I think it didn't have pause because I like to pause it every now and then. So like, well, I need to change, so I had to look into it. But it's like, it was weird. Like, how come that fucking changed? And now when I try and shut it down, only 50% of the time does it shut down. The other 50% forever just stays at logging off or shutting down. It never shuts down. But like, I didn't get a virus like while it was sitting there. Like, this is impossible. Like, I have no idea what's wrong with it. So I don't know if it's the card they gave me that's busted or what. But my internet, when I plug it in, it'll go for about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. It'll run pretty good. Just fine, fantastic. The next like 3-4 hours, it'll run really, really slow. After that, it'll give me an error like Explorer's crashed, like part of Explorer, like my desktop still works, but part of Explorer had crashed, and my internet will be like, you have 4 bars, but I can't go anywhere, so I disconnect from it, and I try and reconnect it, and it says it can't connect. I unplug it, plug it back in, it won't reconnect, so I have to shut my computer down, and I start it up again, and it'll run fine again. It'll do the whole process all over again. The only way to avoid it is I have to unplug it after about 3 hours, and give it about at least like 10-20 minutes, and then I'll plug it back in, and it'll seem like it reverts.
What kind of USB wireless card? How much, Mike? Could there have been animated porn on this?
On my computer?
I'm sure it's a shitty card. I remember
just
him.
on this card.
Oh,
I think I remember him
been
talking
bugged with
about
some
that
kind
one.
of porn virus that had animated your computer into a
well,
porno.
my computer was running weird before I even put the card into it.
Yeah, it doesn't
Put
sound
porn
like the
in
card
computer?
is messing up your
Yeah.
computer, but I remember him
probably the
specifically
porn.
talking about that card.
Yeah.
I was talking about wireless cards. I'm like, man, I should get like a wireless because I wanted like the expansion slot one kind that's not USB.
That's what I want to get.
Yeah, he's like, no man, just get a USB one. Like, I actually don't. I have one. And it's the shittiest thing ever. Don't use it. It sucks. And I'm like, oh really? And then you
first
told
I
me
thought it
that
was
he
the
gave you
bars.
it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. At first I thought it was the bars, but it's got 4-bar connection, and it's just really
It's a
frustrating.
liar. It's a rigged Chinese
I kinda want to disable the internet on the
motherfucking
laptop.
USB dongle.
Yeah. I want to disable the internet on the laptop.
I'll give
and put it
you
in
one
that
that's
just to see how it
legit
goes.
someday when I find it.
But at first
They're
I thought,
easy
like,
to lose. They're little.
I didn't even question it. Like, I thought like 54, like whatever. So I'm like, this dial-up speeds, and then I find out like, so I say something about that, and Label's like, no, that's 54 kbs. This is 454 mbs. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, shit. Then that means something else is fucking wrong then. So
Dude, you know what's really crazy though is I actually ordered one for $7 to use on a computer, and it is fast enough to stream the, about 1 megabyte download speeds in Staten for League of Legends and whatnot for my brother.
yeah,
A
He doesn't
USB
have-
wireless card?
He doesn't have any problem with it. $7
that's crazy.
For a computer, yeah. Well, obviously, I mean, they make the USB one for Xbox. That's what my brother uses. He uses the wireless Xbox one, and that one's fast enough.
Yeah, well, that one's a little bit more expensive than $7.
Yeah, but it's still like technology of like turning Wi-Fi into USB, because obviously
yeah.
USB is not as fast as an Ethernet port.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I gave up this week. I'm like, I took out my 25 footer because I thought it'd take like a 50 footer to get from one end of the house to the other. So I took a 25 footer and it reaches, but I wanted to go like up the doorway on the roof to not like make them step over it or everything, but like after kind of learning they don't care about that shit. So I'm like, I tread along the floor. I'm like, fuck, it'll fit. So I'm just gonna fucking hardwire and be done with the whole problem. But
Yeah.
I hate being without internet or like fast computer. It's just so frustrating.
Sucks.
It does. It's so frustrating. So I don't know.
Yeah, new computer's definitely like one of 4 things on my top list once I have monies.
Me too, yeah.
House, computer,
I want a new
set.
computer so bad, but it's like I don't have fast internet, so it's like I don't know what I would do with it.
I just want a new graphics card, and other than that, like if I had one wish on the stores right now, it'd be like a little bit extra money every month for food and just a new graphics card, and that's all I want. Everything else is like just peachy right now.
What kind of graphics card do you need?
I just need. I think they're well, like I was gonna try and crossfire with my computer, and then it would be like there was only 3 graphics cards that would crossfire with my processor. It's like we got really good onboard graphics, but it's like getting too outdated that now I need a graphics card.
Yeah.
So like I could crossfire for like there's only like 3 of them. Like the most expensive one's $100 one, and it's like I wanted to buy a good one to cross. Well, then, so I kind of figured out basically I have to buy just a brand new one and not use my onboard graphics. And I was kind of disappointed about that. Like, that seems like a big waste of buying such a good processor. But then someone's like, well, the plus side is it improves your processor's, like, you know, processing because now it's not dedicating anything to graphics. You got graphics, it's like, okay, so I'm back on, I want to spend about 150 for a graphics card, whatever's good, you know. But,
what processor do you have?
all I know is it's like AA is, what is it? AA APU something. I don't know. I don't know very much about
Is it
processors.
AMD or Intel?
AMD all the way.
Alright.
So, but I don't know. It's done its job up till now, so. Well, actually up to about a year ago now, because that's when I first started wanting a new graphics card.
Yeah. Well, you don't have a graphics card right now, do you?
Yeah, I don't have anything.
On board, yeah.
Like it ran WoW just fine at like average settings, a little above average. It ran it just fine. And then now I started playing some newer games, and even WoW is kind of getting like more advanced for it, so like now I need a graphics card.
Yeah.
But it lasted 2 years pretty damn good, so.
Always need graphics cards.
Yeah. That I guess I'd like a solid state drive, but that's a little bit extra. Like I don't really care about that.
USB drive with some operating system on it, man.
Right? That's crazy.
Or just
I'm gonna try it. I'll let you know how it goes.
get a USB floppy drive. Put your OS on that. Run DOS.
If you want to do it the fucking weird roundabout way of running DOS on your computer, sure, why not? You have like a drive with a cord that connects. It's not even Bluetooth. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What is it, Bluetooth?
Floppy drive, external
Right.
floppy drive to run DOS off your fucking laptop. There are easier ways to do that, you know.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome, though.
Throw your computer out the window and accomplish a lot more than connecting a floppy disk drive to your computer.
How about did you get pissed off? Like, why is it like open it with Firefox? Like,
What would be
that's
more
not-
interesting to film? Just let me hear that. We're not accomplishing anything either way. Otherwise,
Yeah. I wonder what there's more videos on, because I'm sure there's videos of both on YouTube. But which ones have the most hits? Computers flying out windows.
I know what we should do. We should do a video where we connect a floppy drive to a laptop, and we just get pissed about that, and we just throw it out a window.
I think I have a laptop that's broken, like beyond fixing, so maybe we can really do that.
Do we have a window that's broken beyond fixing?
Oh, I wonder if we have a window.
We can throw it into something better, like a sheet of ice. It's gonna get cold these next few days.
Yeah, no, we get sheets of ice because we have all these stupid like things of water around our house, and you at the morning you pick it up, it's like a sheet of ice this thick, you know.
What, are you serious?
Yes, so we can make a window and just put it up
Fucking
and
farmers in their
try
crazy
to throw the
ways.
laptop through it.
You gotta shatter ice off their yards.
Dude, the dogs go nuts over it. They love ice for some
Do
reason.
they munch on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, our dog loved. We used to make balls of snow, and we'd like throw it to him, and he would catch it in his mouth, and he'd be perplexed how it would just explode in his mouth. Like I swear I caught something, but he loved to eat snow.
Yeah. 'Cause we go out in the morning and like break the ice on their water bowls so they can actually drink.
Yeah.
And they just like eat the ice and take it and fight
Yeah.
over it, and like it's just ice. Like you're gonna get cold eating all that ice.
Yeah,
They don't care.
Oh yeah.
they love it.
Not as much as we love video games.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, so it might be a nice little
Well,
segue into our most intense topic.
what would
Actually,
that be?
Mike, please, before we go into our most intense topic, say what you gotta say.
Well,
What
I
were
think
you
it might
saying?
be leading into our intense topic for. I don't know if any of our listeners ever cared about the other station that we left, but
Some of them do.
like Answer would probably be pretty interested to hear that Critical Splits is now literally Critical Split. It's like critically split. So
I know. Whenever I talk about it, I'm like, "Did you hear about Critical Splits?" Oh dang it! I already said it. Critical Splits is Critical Splits.
Okay, can we like get a real rundown of what exactly happened? Because Like, I have my details, but Aaron, things have gotten jumbled, all right?
Yeah.
Jack was a part of this. He was there for most of it.
I was there for,
doucher,
like, a tiny part of it.
You know, Jack, how dare you wear the Andy Bro shirt on the show? How dare you?
I wonder if that
The
started.
ball.
Okay, so let's get a whole recap of this.
'Cause before-
Jack is going to say he's not that big of a part of it, then it's a much bigger situation because I'm talking about a 2-day scenario.
Yeah.
But in the whole big scheme, Mike was in the podcast.
You mean the very end?
With this crazy Aaron dude, brought me in. As soon as I got in, I realized they were all fucking weird and shit. I started just having my
fun.
way because I had nothing better to do, I suppose. And the laughs were great. And now Mike, at this point in the whole endeavor, Mike has decided he is going to tell Aaron. We've been talking about this for days, that he's going to tell Aaron off. He's going to freak the fuck out and tell Aaron, you know what, you're a little bitch. You leave me off your Facebook and all that shit.
Call him out for being such a little pussy.
And at this point, I'm getting a little fed up with him too because he's really being kind of conniving behind your
bitch.
back. He's being a little bitch. He's making things difficult. Like, no matter what I do, he's still kind of,
Yeah.
A little bit. As
transgressing.
much as I agree with you, as much as, like, I'm on your side, if it was me, I probably would have just, like, let everything he did slide and just, like, ride the Aaron train and let him buy me things and, like, have fun with this stupid thing. But you just, like, you did the right thing because it was either, like, do that and let Aaron be the boss, which is, like, the downside, or...
Which I can't do.
Yeah.
That's not my personality.
Yeah,
so.
or do what you did and split up his entire group.
But
Which you didn't mean to do, but
I
that
didn't
happened.
even try to do. I didn't even
try.
make an attempt. None of that was even on the board. Like, I did everything to make sure that, it's like, Aaron, I have, like, this
You were
is
just
my
saying
beliefs.
random things into a phone, and that forced his hand to explode his life.
Like, honestly, Aaron was waiting for this. He's been waiting for it for weeks, months. He's always making a bigger deal out of things. It was gonna happen.
Even, did you hear about any of what happened at that live stream that we went to?
Yeah, I heard parts.
Yeah, we
Maybe
went
we
there.
should talk
and
about that,
Aaron
yeah.
just, like, broke down. Like, we went there.
Yeah.
I
don't think I've heard this much.
Yeah.
I heard a very small bit
Yeah.
from Laban.
Oh no, we'll tell you.
Okay, that
We
might have
gotta
been
tell
a
you.
good piece of it then. 'Cause
Okay,
we-
so
it was
should
pretty funny. Like they
Yeah.
was definitely like.
I don't know.
fucking
Like,
weird.
did we go together? Did we drive together? You were in my car. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
we had to tell Laven how to get there.
I picked Jack up and we went over to Aaron's and his
Which is like some weird house that isn't on a map, and he calls it the headquarters, and like a bunch
Yeah.
of babies crying all over the
Right,
house. And
yeah.
we're like, why is it here? And some like it's a
Weird.
room just like this, except
Yeah.
probably more garbage.
Yeah.
And we're just
Yeah.
like, there's no lights or anything. Like there wasn't a light. Okay.
Oh my God.
We were using stupid lamps everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, guys, I'm live streaming this and that. And we're like, well, we'll help you with the audio and all this. And we made him go to the store and buy us cables and stuff that we didn't use. And
Yes.
but then, so we're streaming and things like he has the stupidest setup. He just has 2 laptops,
Right.
like right.
Oh, I
next to
heard
each
about
other.
the laptop setup.
Yeah, and they're just these dumb laptops that he doesn't know how to use, and I don't know how to use because they're not my laptops.
He's all like he had the freaking processor on one of them running like half speed.
Yeah,
he
he
didn't
has,
even know it.
yeah, and he has like a billion programs open. He's like has the browser and the Twitch stream like as he's uploading, he's also like downloading, watching it. So he's just like wasting
right.
tons of bandwidth, tons of processing, and I'm just like, how is this working? This isn't working. So I'm like trying to fix it and all this stuff, and then we keep trying to do all these big things that you cannot do with a stupid netbooks.
Yeah.
Like you need a powerful computer to like
Yeah.
stream and then record it and then upload it and then all
Yeah.
this stuff, and it's just not working. So he just like is getting pissed and just going like, just give me a minute, and just going and like sitting in the corner and just like being quiet, and we're just like, what do we do here? Like, how come we're not having a fun time anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad there's still food, but can I leave?
Yeah.
Like, it was weird.
What's Laban told me is like he had 2 computers there, and one needed to be more powerful to stream and upload. He's like, and he's using the shitty one for that, and he's using the powerful one to watch it. Or it's like
Yeah.
it was like reverse. Like why don't you switch
Yeah.
computers? And the other one was too slow. He didn't want to do it that way for some stupid bullshit retarded ass backwards way. Yeah, it was.
He was saying some ridiculous shit, and the thing that took me away was when we started a podcast of all playing a game, and he said something like, "What was the question? It was off the wall."
Oh shoot, he had a bunch of weird ones. I
The
remember.
very first one where he's just like, but the answer is intriguing or something. The answer is interesting, so I said it.
What would you put in a safety deposit box
Yeah.
if you had one? That was his question. Yeah.
What would you put in a safety deposit box if you had one, Mike? Just leave it at that. Hang on.
Hold on.
You got the rest of it, right?
Super fast. Before that, we tried to do a podcast and it didn't work, and he got pissed and walked away.
Super pissed.
And then after that, he just canceled the whole live stream. And then we're trying to cheer him up. We're like, hey man, how about we just play some games and record
have
that as a
some-
podcast?
This camera is awesome, dude.
Yeah, he bought a new camera. But anyway, he's like, okay, so we set up the camera, we're playing Mario Kart, and he asked us the question: if you had a safety deposit box, what would you put in it? What would you put in it?
I don't really have anything to put into. Maybe some,
I know,
some
right?
money. Maybe, I guess.
Yeah,
That
it's
would
like
be
I the first thing that came to my mind, I'm like gold. Like, do I have this thing that I put in there, or
Yeah.
do I put something
Yeah.
like what would you? I
I
don't
was
know.
asking questions like, Aaron, is it something that
Can you
like,
clarify?
It's the
Like-
only thing that I have. How big is this deposit box? Like, is it just a possession that I want to keep? He's like,
Why would I put
He's like,
anything
well,
in
I don't know.
there?
I guess I should just probably give you guys an example. Like, he didn't even like answer my question. He got like
Yeah.
all the other thing. He's like,
I would
He's
put
like,
in-
I would just put in condoms. He said he'd put condoms in
I
there.
don't trust like those women. They poke holes
And I
in
was like,
guys.
are these like the last condoms that have ever existed? Like, are there no more condoms after
Yeah,
these
we're like-
condoms? Like,
Now I have to
are
ask
this-
you why.
Like, what is with these condoms that you can't just like replace them for 50 cents at a fucking AM/PM?
Like for a safety deposit, like why don't you stick $5 in there?
He's like,
Because
well, I
that's the
don't
same
know. He's like, well, I don't know. I just thought that it was an interesting answer, and that's all I
He
was
said
going
something
for.
about
Or something.
like he thought a safety deposit box was like an end of the world situation or something. So like he wanted to make sure he had condoms or like just weirder and weirder.
Yeah, it
things.
was nothing that made any sense. He
Yeah.
never made any sense
He
throughout
doesn't.
any of this.
The other question I remember from asking it was like, do you think it's possible to play every video game that's ever been made in the world?
Yeah.
Like
And it-
how long? What are the premise? Like what's the
No,
premise of
even
this?
even just for a second, do you think
Yeah.
it's possible for one person to go and play every single video game ever in the entire Earth?
That's weird. Because that's a simple math question. Like you said.
Immediately, I was like, no. You
Yeah.
couldn't find them all. You couldn't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
run them all. There's probably like some guy in China 50 years ago who made a video game that nobody ever
Yeah.
sees, you know.
And that's Jack, who doesn't normally just jump in and say, "Hey, wait a minute, that's fucked."
Yeah.
You know, he's like,
And
instantly
Aaron's all
"No."
like, no, it's possible. There's not that many video games. Like, I mean, the Xbox. And he's like, in his mind, like, the only video games are like Halo 1 through 10. He's like,
Yeah.
I could play all the video games.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
played Halo 7.3.5 and I beat it. I was on the toilet most of the time, but I still beat it, you know?
Like and two things like back in like the Windows like 98 days, I remember multiple times buying like here's a pack of literally 5,000 mini games on here, like, and there's multiple packs of them. Not to mention like not only is there like all these mini games, but like I'm almost forgetting my second point, but it's just like no, there's so many fucking like just right there alone. Like, well, that's my other point. Is like also like what do you count as a game? Because there's probably like 100 different versions of Solitaire released this
Yeah.
year alone.
Yeah.
Like, so what do you count, Aaron? But he is pretty fucking like. But yeah, so
The best part, well, are you going to finish the night? Because just to finish the night, the best part was when we played Slender Man, which is like Aaron's favorite game for
Yeah.
some reason. And we're just like, okay. But it ended up being really funny because Ian was playing. And Aaron thought it was like the scariest thing ever, just being like, okay, watch out. At this part, you have to be very careful because if you make the wrong move, he will kill you and it'll be super scary. And he's just like, just running through, just all muttering to himself. Like, fucking Slenderman, I don't give a shit. I'll take a piss on Slenderman. I don't care. just beating the game, just like through chance. And Aaron's just like, all right, I've never seen that done before. Okay, you're very lucky, right? That, this, and this. And he's just like, I don't care. Come here, Slenderman. And then we beat the whole game, and Aaron's just like, wasn't that wonderful? And we're just like, that ending sucks.
nice.
Oh my god, he showed us his podcast. It was like the most ridiculous thing ever. I wanted to punch him for showing it to me.
Yeah.
He's
God.
just off on every single facet of his life. Like, I'm just like, Aaron, how can you fail any worse? And then he pulls his next shit and he fails worse.
I used to feel bad that he was so dumb because he tried so hard until the phone call that he gave me. And it's like, I called him completely
Alright.
on all this shit and he just backs down.
So can I recap? At this
Yeah.
point, this is the live stream. Up until this point, have I been encouraging to Aaron and helpful to Aaron?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know to him. I know to me, you've been saying it's dumb and all this stuff. But
Well,
to him,
but have I been helping his cause and
yeah.
everything and like being a good team member? And
I don't think you ever stopped being that. Yeah.
No, exactly. Like I'm like I can have my opinion. Like he has his opinion of me. We all know he looks down upon me.
Yeah, it looks
That's obvious.
He's got about everyone.
He said
Yeah.
that. He said that on the first podcast.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm the smartest one here. Like, come on, Aaron. Like, what are you gonna back that up with? But we
Yeah.
don't go there. Everything is how it is. But
Yeah,
he,
you've been nothing but positive for him.
I don't know how I couldn't have like helped him anymore.
Well,
Where did I start hurting him? I brought up the Nate issue, which was a sensitive issue that Kyle wanted to bring up.
To be fair, yeah, everyone wanted Nate out there, and Nate was.
And I didn't even.
Nate was the one he brought up issues before we brought up issues. Like, just to be fair, Nate was an ass.
And I said Nate's fine. I just don't want to be around Nate. That's my only thing. I don't. If I just do Grand Theft Auto, my critically splits Ian Bear Pig Grand Theft Auto 5. That's it.
yeah,
That's
like
fine.
he said, you were trying to make decisions and say that he couldn't make decisions, which you weren't. You
Yeah.
were just like,
No.
I don't like Nate.
Yeah, no, it was. So, but up until this point, yeah, and I've like helped him with audio and stuff. Like I've actually put in more effort than co-founder.
Aaron, even.
Yeah.
Let alone Nate.
Maybe
Kyle.
even Aaron. I don't know.
Aaron, I think, just has fake stress and like
Fake stress. That's what it is.
Yeah, made him think that he has to do all this work. He's like, I gotta do all this work. I gotta do all this work.
tripping balls,
I'm doing all this
yeah.
work, and he's just like stacking 2 blocks on top of each other, and then it falls down. He's like, oh, so busy, so busy, so busy, and you're over here just like actually doing work. You're like, calm down, dude.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Like it's just come on.
Yeah.
All right, and then so now it starts getting to kind of a boiling point because obviously there's tension and all this bullshit going on, and everyone's fed up with everyone's shit. Apparently, Kyle's just off in pussy juice land, and it just the world is not a better place.
That's also
at this
true.
point. It
It wasn't
better
just
a couple
you.
of years ago.
Even
probably.
Kyle bailed on the whole critical
Yeah,
live stream.
nobody had any help or anything with any of this, so I don't know. I felt like I was as much of a team member, but anyway, and. So let's see. What happens that night is I start talking to Aaron about how to live stream, right?
Yeah.
And he starts getting really like, would you say aggressive? Would you say he got aggressive with me first?
Yeah.
He started getting like really like, listen, I'm with some people who are important with my life right now. I can't talk about this. If you want to talk about it later, I'm like, he's like, we can talk about that.
Like
I'm just
you,
like,
you were ready to troll him, but at the same time, he sent you like multiple page texts,
Yeah.
giant ones. Like you would just be like, "Hey man, let me know," and then we'd be sitting there like not caring. He was like, "Oh, here's another text from Aaron." Click, click, just pages and pages. Like he's writing this giant essay to you when he's supposedly
Jesus
so
Christ.
busy.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, what? This is weird. Like, I'm not even trying or anything. It's like he's antagonizing it. Like he's
Yeah.
instigating the whole situation. He's like making a bigger deal out of like nothing that I'm saying, but at the same time, I'm like, I know he wants to do that, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do just enough to
Yeah.
give him the fuel to
Yeah.
blow this thing up
Right.
crazy big, because this could be the biggest splits ever.
Yeah. Kind of was.
And so I was just like, all right. Just kind of like, just be like, okay, cool. Like, these people are like, don't say another word after this text message. I'm like, and you just say, okay. And they're like, I said, don't say another motherfucking word. And I'm just like, oh, yes, don't worry. I won't say another word. And I send that message off.
Was that an example, or was he literally saying that?
No, it wasn't like that. It was
Okay.
just kind of like the vibe.
Okay, yeah, that was
Jack,
okay.
would you
That's
say
what I
that was
meant.
the vibe? Like,
He wanted to keep
wanted the last
going. It
word.
seemed like.
You think he wanted to keep communicating, or he? I don't know. I thought he was trying
He
to
wanted
egg me
to,
on
like-
to push it on.
No, he wanted to win somehow.
Yeah.
Like, you both could have just stopped. Like, you were just like, I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to
Yeah.
keep trolling him. And Aaron's just like, I'm going to keep going until Ian realizes that I am in control, that I am the boss, and all this stuff.
Which but then Ian's just trying to get a laugh. Like, it makes him the winner. Like, Aaron, you getting mad only makes you lose. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell goes on in his mind, man.
But it ended with, because you guys were supposed to podcast the next day.
Yeah.
And it ended with don't come over, get my things ready, and we're not podcasting or something, because you were pushing for Nate. No Nate, right? I don't want Nate to be there.
I just didn't want to work with Nate.
Yeah.
And it was because we had multiple conversations with different members of the podcast. Even Mike had talked to Aaron the night before about how Nate was awful. And Aaron had agreed with Mike. Aaron had agreed with me prior. He had agreed with Kyle. He had agreed with everybody that Nate is just, he's not podcast fun material. Like, it's fine if he wants to do it. We just have to make arrangements, you know, like, I don't want to be there. Like, if it wants to be just, Nate, his brother, Kyle, and Aaron, they just ramble on about Chew, fine. Fuck it. I'll be on the next one where they're not on there. And we'll just have twice as many episodes. I don't care. Or half as many. But the ones that are there are good. The ones that we're on, they're not with Nate.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I was going for. And he was just kind of like, no, it's all or nothing. Either you're my brother in Gingerhood or you're not. That's how I got the feeling. But
yeah, and I can't remember how it ended with you, because it did end, and then he called Mike. And
like, the end of the night, I was just like, you know what, dude, this is what's up. I'm out. If Nate was in, I just don't want to be there. That's it. And that I ended it with that. And then Mike had talked to him.
Well,
had this crazy conversation.
I was literally basically was spell checking my note to him that I was supposed to send, like this epic note. And man, it fucking was gonna hit like a motherfucker. Like it really reached into like the inner being of Aaron's like problems. And like I mean I went as far as to call him I'm like, here you think you were the smartest person in the room when you had someone who'd worked at Intel, you have Ian who's becoming an engineer, and you thought you, the man who's going to college for music, the man who's going to college for music and can't even write his own like intro, you had to ask Ian himself to write the intro music for his podcast. And like I mean like I went over like I that's how deep I went. Like I went like you're in college for music and you can't write your own intro to yours. Like I mean I went over how passive aggressive a pussy he was. Everything.
That's the worst. Yeah, that's the worst part.
That is the worst part. So I was like literally moments away from sending that and talking to Ian too. And I'm chatting with Ian on Facebook. I'm like, I gotta go, dude. My phone's ringing. I don't know the phone number. And I'm like 99% sure it's Aaron. Answer the phone. It's Aaron. And he starts off again, so passive aggressive. Because you know he's probably pissed off. Because I just created this page.
That was that page.
He removed me from Facebook as his friend a while ago. He never told me. I just kind of discovered it one night. Big deal. Like I don't really fucking care. Then he removes me from the podcast. Again, I really don't care. I could care less. But the fact that he won't tell me, just being a little pussy again. So
yeah, it's like, Mike, I don't want to see your posts. Okay, well,
exactly.
All right.
No big deal. But which like a normal person would be like, I'm sorry, like your stuff is too offensive for me.
Posts?
Or like most people would just like go out of their way like, okay, I don't want to see Mike's post anymore, like a group, But I'm like, big deal. Okay, fine, whatever. Aaron doesn't doesn't tell me. So then he removes me from the podcast group. I had no idea. He didn't tell me. I had to hear from Ian. So I make this group just to troll Aaron because I don't really want to be back in the group. I could care less.
Yeah.
But I make this group called
the petition.
The petition to bring Mike back to the podcast, and I made it a political cause on Facebook. They had a short description like, we must stand up and rise against this ginger oppression. Yada yada yada. Just wording it super funny, super hilarious. Invited all my friends to it. A couple of them commented on there and. They're just like, we can hear the cries from our window. And it was so
obvious, funny. Like, rip-off Shakespeare kind of bullshit, though. Honestly.
Yeah, just a joke. Just some picture from Google. How many people liked it at the time? Like 5 or something?
Yeah, it was. By the time Aaron had called me, it was literally up to like 5. It was so small.
Yeah.
And I made a picture of him, like, save the gingers. Because I'm like, Aaron is only hurting himself by kicking me and Ian off the podcast. Especially when he kicks Ian off. Like, Aaron, you have no know-how. Ian brings know-how. The only people who bring actual intelligent, funny content to the show is me and Ian. Like,
and the thing is, he while we were at the live stream thing, and Ian and Laban went outside to smoke. Like Aaron said that to me. I tried to like get Aaron talking because it's super awkward saying that. He would just say nothing, and I'm just like, this is too weird. So then whenever I'm with somebody, I'm constantly trying to talk to them about something. I'm like, so, podcasting, how's that going? So this and that and everything. And it eventually got to the point where it's like, I just do all the work in this stuff. I just do all the work. I'm like, yeah, I know how that goes. Sometimes this and that. And I kind of get the hint that he wanted to go off and do his own thing or something. And he's like, yeah, I would. But the thing is, I am just not funny. I'm not funny. I'm not entertaining. So that's why I got to have, people.
He actually admitted it. Wow.
Yeah, totally. He just straight up, she's like, I'm not funny. Yeah. And I need other people. And I'll just do the work.
So again,
his definition of work is so ridiculous.
It is. Yeah, it is. Like you said, it's knocking 2 blocks, knocking them down. Anything does work. But so he calls me up. I was about to send this to him, and so he calls me up, and he's just like, "Hey, Mike." I'm like, so at first I'm just like my normal mode, because I'm not troll mode isn't always activated, but I'm just like, "Hey, Aaron." He's like, "How's it going?" I'm like, "It's good. Moved up here to Portland. Like, how's it going with you?" And or something along these lines. Where it was very brief, because I was like, that was probably longer than what it was, because it was literally like he said something like how's it going, Mike? Or said something like, it's going good. And I remember I took a breath, and I just snapped. I was like, Aaron, what the fuck? That's how he said it, exactly. What the fuck are you doing? Because I made the group say the ginger, because I'm kicked out of it, Ian's kicked out of it, Nathan's even kicked out of it, though he should be. All left is Aaron and Kyle. I'm like, just the ginger kids. So that's where I came up with the picture. I'm like, save the gingers. And I Googled image searched and found that perfect photo.
That's perfect.
And it was just awesome, save the gingers. So it's just the whole time I didn't understand what he's talking about, because he's like, Ian's ridiculous. He's attacking me. So I kept thinking, oh, okay, he means the page, right? But I didn't want to bring up the page yet, because I didn't know if he knew, because it was very
Maybe
fresh.
he did mean that page. Did he mean that page, do you think? Because at this point, he does think it's me.
Yeah, I think so, but at the same time...
That makes sense!
Because knowing Aaron... Because I was calling him pussy, so I was never... if he ever brought it up the page to me personally, I was not going to deny it. Because that's something I couldn't do when I'm sitting here calling him out.
But at the same time, maybe he thought the attack was just you forcing him to fire Nate. But
that makes sense.
But he kept saying... He kept attacking me. I'm like, what so I had to get down to the bottom. I'm like, how's Ian attacking you? I expect him to say the page. He goes, on Facebook. I go, what's he doing? He goes, I'm talking to him, and he keeps fuck this, fuck that, fuck you, fuck this, fuck everything, fuck. I'm like, is that all he's doing? He's like, well, that's not that's a big deal. I'm like, I'm trying to get him to say it as a page, because but after I tried to get to the bottom of it, was the page just twice. I just completely left the point. It's not the page he's talking about.
Yeah.
But it had to have been something he didn't want to bring up or something. I don't know, because he never brought up the page at all. And I brought it pretty close to light a couple times.
Yeah, and it would be so easy for him to say it.
I'm sure he had it in the back of his mind, but he didn't even want to go there. Because when I asked him what is Ian doing to attack him, multiple times he's like, he's on chat, he won't talk to me. He just kept saying, fuck this, fuck that, fuck everything. And I'm like, all right. So I got irritated with him. I'm like, well, of course he's you're stepping on his toes. Of course he's getting pissed. He's like, he asked me how I'm stepping on his toes. I don't step on anyone's toes. I'm like, you step on mine. Ian's, I bring them all up. He keeps excusing him, saying that he didn't want to hassle me by telling me that he kicked me off the podcast from the because I was busy with. Oh, that's the other thing. I wasn't kicked off. I wasn't kicked off the podcast. I was only kicked off the group because he was tired of me flicking Nathan shit.
No wonder he deleted the group so fast. Anyway, you see the
But she's like, Mike, you can show up tomorrow. If you want to show up tomorrow, show up for it. The next one we do, show up for it. You're not kicked off. I just removed you from the group because all the tension you're creating. I'm like, tension I was creating. I literally said, Nathan said hey Kyle, there's an issue with this. Kyle responded. I responded, well, should I make some menu? And I'm like, well, if you take the floppy drive and you get the right firmware for it, make it a hard drive, you can really insert it good or something like that. I just said something like that. So then Nathan, just fucking out of nowhere, just Mike, you're a real ass or something like that. Or just completely just
he just totally got real serious.
Yeah, real serious, which is
very mean.
Didn't offend me, but to be fair, it was very mean.
I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, so I just commented something very lighthearted, kind of trollish, but obviously it was nothing serious. I wasn't really trying to misguide him in his computer, trying to figure out his problem.
Yeah, what was that? Let's go into detail just real quick, maybe 15 seconds here. Minecraft server, something or another. They're talking some weird jargon about Minecraft. They don't really know what they're talking about.
It should be as a direct message to Kyle, not to the group anyways.
There's nothing about this group that needs to have. They should be doing this on text in real time.
So it was a post Nathan made.
Post Nathan made on the page.
And then you commented
and then Mike just commented this joke. He's like, well, hang on, just check your floppy drive because there might be a hot dog bun in there.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's a joke.
Really funny.
So Nathan just, So he didn't comment on it for the rest of the night. Go to bed, wake up in the morning, just hours later. Like, so he had like time to like calm down if it really upset him that much. He's just like, "You're a real ass, Mike." I'm just like, what? Like, this is like, I'm laughing my ass off because I'm like,
Now,
just like flipped
I
out.
thought it was something about you guys said something about his divorce or hookers or
We'll
something.
go back
was
to
a while
that, but then I said something like, "Hey Nate, that's not how you make friends." And apparently that's me and Mike trolling Nate, but Nate was being very mean. I was trying to be like,
Yeah.
"Hey
Yeah.
dude, come on," like
Yeah.
obviously Mike pushed a button and you just gotta be like, "Hey Mike, guess what? You are skinny and you look like Steve from American Dad. You got laid about as many times as he has, so there you go."
So
just
the
like,
thing that actually got you kicked out was the computer joke. And
Yeah,
not the
that
other
was
part?
that's the thing is like, there's so many things that they could have actually
Yeah.
kicked me and Ian out for. It was the small, tiny
it
little
was
thing.
it was.
Because I don't know why, like, if I would have expected, like, Nathan, like, I think it's funny, so I'm not condemning Ian for saying this, but, like, in one of the podcasts, Ian goes, like, "I just can't wait till I get your seat next time. Like, I can't wait for you not to show up." And, like, Nathan's like, what? That's kind of rude. And, then, like, all I remember is, like, Ian, like, literally, in front of all of them on the podcast is like, "Yeah, I don't really like you."
Yeah,
And they're
yeah.
like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think you're like, if, like, I can't remember word for, I'm paraphrasing here, but, like, pretty much like, "Yeah, I think you're a piece of shit and you're useless. You don't bring anything to the podcast." And they're just all, like, standing there, like, stunned, like, what?
He definitely said, "I don't like you."
Yeah, he definitely
and
said
Nathan's
that.
like, "Really?" He's like,
Yeah,
"No."
So, like,
I'm like, whoa.
like, again, out of all times to flip out, like, he flips out, like, and again, like I probably deserve to be flipped out on, but, like, if he doesn't flip out on Ian over me, like, so it's just, like, it's so surprising, like, out of all the times and out of all the people to flip out on, like, I'm kind of proud in some way that you chose me to flip out on, but, like, it makes no logical sense, and that's why we're laughing.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what? So, apparently I got kicked out for that, because I just bring a trollish environment to
Should we
the
talk
page.
about the little divorce thing real quick? Or
Well, yeah, I guess we should add that
all
in
right,
there,
we'll
like-
just that's another
Again,
little
like,
30 second
this is
bit.
what he should have flipped out on originally.
Nate, out of nowhere,
Out of
after
nowhere.
like
Cry for
maybe
help.
3-4 weeks of not even talking to anybody in the podcast at all, except for maybe Aaron twice,
Yeah.
just pops into the public page and says something about how, "Hey guys, really trying to be there this weekend, about to
busy.
lose my life," or something
Yeah,
like that.
just throw that in there nonchalantly, like trying to save my marriage, like hardcore, like very like trying to save my marriage.
Yeah.
To be fair, like that would be a funny joke if he like was saying that, like, "Hey, I can say this now because I'm not actually losing my wife. I can
Yeah.
come back to the podcast." No, he's saying like, seriously, like,
And no one would take him serious, bringing it up so harshly, randomly, like not time and place. It seemed like a literal joke because of the way he brought it up in a
Okay.
manner, like.
So
Yeah.
what happened?
and we were just like, like, "Oh, whatever, like, what did you say? Like, what would be okay for you right now, Nate, is some
Just
some
some
bacon
Coke
and
and
hookers,
hookers or
Coke
something.
and hookers, bacon, Coke and hookers, or
Yeah.
something."
Yeah, right.
And it was just like, "Yeah, man, I have male hookers and PCP or something like that." And it was just kind of like, "Come on, Nate, like, pull through. If
Yeah.
you aren't joking, start joking, because
And you guys weren't
like,
even offensive to his point. You weren't like, "Yeah, man, you're a crappy husband," or "Your
Yeah.
wife sucks." You
Oh,
were
he
just
is.
like,
He's terrible too.
we were honestly just being like to
joking.
like anybody else,
And
like
like,
to you,
Not only
anybody.
joking, but
Yeah.
like not even taking him seriously because like
it's
again,
not even a related joke. To what he
like
said.
like
yeah.
I honestly didn't really believe he had wife problems the way he brought it up. Like
Yeah.
not that I wouldn't have made fun of him still, but like I honestly didn't think like he was just joking, right? Like that's what I thought he was joking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was bizarre.
so
but,
if anytime to flip out there. Like
so they didn't there, and now
Yeah.
Aaron's talking to Mike, and
Yeah.
Well-
what was the result of that phone call, basically?
well the phone call was so I know Aaron wanted to bring up the fact that like pretty much the elephant in the room was like you guys have attacked me on the internet. Which another thing is like I told him multiple times to his face, like he kept saying like I'm sorry, and I'm like Aaron, just a minute. He's like, Mike, what do you want from me? I'm like, I don't want a sorry, because like Mike, what do you want from me? I've said sorry. I'm like, I don't want a sorry. I want you to tell me, hey, I take this group very seriously, and you're trolling it, and I don't like it. Or even as far as like I don't like you, Mike. Like just be honest. I told him like just tell me, be honest, tell me to my face that you're not happy with something I'm doing. And he's like, but that's not true at all. And it was so true. So he, like, even calling him blatantly out, he still would not admit to
Yeah,
it.
he
So he
won't.
eventually got to the point where, like, I don't know what you want from me, Aaron. And then he, like, flipped on this other mode. Like, he told me, Mike, I called you for advice. I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. You did not call me for advice.
Yeah, how did this end up here?
Yeah. So he asked me, like, he was like, well, what should I do? That's what I'm calling you for. I'm calling you for advice. I told him the obvious, like, you have to pick Nathan or Ian. So then he has the balls to go, like, well, that's an easy one. Like, Ian hand down. Like, you're choosing Ian. Like, at this point, like, cut your losses and just, like, your podcast is down the drain. You've already pissed off Nathan and Ian. You can get one of them back, but Ian, like, clearly doesn't fucking care about you. Just take Nathan back and at least save, like, some shitty friendship that you actually cherish. Like, you just...
Why didn't he at least do that?
Like, seriously? Like,
I didn't even think of that.
From an impartial thing, if it's, like, our side versus his side, it's like, he should choose Nathan and just do his own thing.
Yeah, just be honorable and just choose Nathan and be like, my guy's already fucking lost. I'm going to choose Nathan and keep him as a friend. Even though we wouldn't really be friends with him, but Aaron does want to be friends with him. So that being granted, like, just say, like, instead of saying, like, hey, my childhood friend, I'm going to sell him down the drain just for a shitty podcast, to give someone that like, just trolls me. Like, from Aaron's point of view, all the way, he should have chose Nathan. This is like, are you fucking retarded? So I'm like, I stood there stunned because I thought for sure he's like, well, I'll take Nathan then, like, be honest. But, like, well,
wait, what did you tell him?
I told him, like, you obviously have to choose, like, you have two people who won't work together. You chose to, like, kick both of them to the curb. Choose one of them. You have to choose one of them. One can bring you.
So you just said choose one, but you didn't say which one.
I told him, like, it's like that's your decision. That's something I can help you with. You have to choose one of them because they're not going to work together, and you probably want at least one of them. Choose one of them, and I expected him to be the noble, like, yeah, well, I'll take my friend from my childhood friend, but he's like, no, I'll take Ian, no problem. I'm just like, why'd you do this, anyways? That's pretty much what he told you. Like, I'm not going to work with Nathan. You like kick both of them out. Like, it was crazy. So.
I don't know what the fucking big deal is.
Right. So I ended it like really like hilarious, like just playing his game. Like I'm just like, fine, you don't want to bring it up, then I'm just gonna like, cause he's pissed off at me, like, but he won't say it. So I'm just gonna let him stew. So then I was at like smile at them when they're mad at you, like customer service wise, like it just makes them even more angry. So I'm just like, all right, Aaron, like have a good night. I know you're stressed. You know your decision you make. Just try and make your decision. You know what you got to do, and try and have a better rest of your night. And like, so it's so funny for me to tell him this. Try and have a better rest of your night, even though in his eyes, like, you are the cause of all of this, and you're telling me to have a good night. Like, you're the fucking reason why I'm not. But so like, even though I'm not, but in his eyes, like, me and Ian are the ones causing us all this trouble. So I'm just like, just try and have a good night. He's like, all right, I'll try. And this is like, it's the best way to end the phone call. But I had to like, he wanted to keep going. He could have talked to me for 3 hours.
Yeah,
he kept going round and round. Yeah. I told him, Aaron, at this point, we're not saying anything we haven't already said at least 3 times. It's time for you to try and tune down your stress and go to bed.
Even though he's supposedly so busy and at this big party and all this stuff, he could spend, like you said, hours just talking about stupid critical splits.
No, I think about it. He did tell me, like, I'm taking time out of my day with my friends. I'm supposed to be at this party having a good time, and I'm like talking to you on the phone. I didn't even register until now. But that's so funny.
And it's like, dude, then freaking hang up the phone and go do the important thing.
Yeah,
like,
whatever.
This is not
just
important. This is a bunch of stupid kids prank calling.
It's like
we're not even really doing anything.
Yeah. It's like, Aaron, if you really are upset, this could still, like, I want to say this could still wait 2 weeks, but honestly, it could wait 2 years. There is no deadline for any of your videos. This doesn't have to be dealt with tonight.
Yeah. But anyway, all right, so did he talk to you? What happened next?
Now he gets off the phone with Mike after they agree that I'm on and Nate's out.
Yeah.
And he immediately calls Nate.
He calls Nate?
He does. He tells Nate that Nate's out.
Wow. How do we know that?
Because on the message that he left me, he told me that he settled things with Nate.
Wow.
I don't have to worry about Nate anymore, and that he's glad to have me on.
Okay, that was still Friday night?
That's still Saturday, Friday. It's that Saturday night.
I don't remember.
Saturday night. Yeah, it was Saturday
night.
So Saturday night.
Sunday morning, I get a text from him at like 8 a.m. He's like, let me know when you're awake so I can come get my stuff. I'm like, okay. So it takes him at like 11:30. I got it like 8:30, but I mean, I need to fucking wake up, you know?
Yeah, right.
And so I like get going and everything, and I text him at like 11:30, and I'm like, hey man, I'm up ready when you are. And he's like, okay, I'll be there in a second. And like 30 seconds later, who's at my door?
Big strong Aaron, who's so not afraid of me and Ian. Because in my phone, I want to just say this just because it kind of almost pertains to, is at one point Aaron goes, he goes, I just didn't think that you and Ian were gonna come after me. And then he interrupts himself and he's like, "Nope." I mean, like, not like physically, because like I could take you both. And then I interrupted him. I'm like, Aaron, this is what you do every fucking time. You bring up this big deal like, you're such a big macho man, but as soon as you're confronted by any situation, you huddle back down, you get all passive aggressive, you are trying to be everyone's friend, you won't take a stand and admit what you're actually feeling. And I was telling him all this like straight to like over and over the phone, and he would still like come back like, that's not how I am, Mike, and it hurts me that you feel that way. It's like he's almost crying multiple times on the phone. I thought
because he didn't even go to Ian's house by himself.
Exactly, so that's why I was gonna say this. He didn't even. So big tough Aaron, who was like not afraid of me and Ian because we could both
Gonna
like
come get my stuff, come kick you out of the podcast.
Yeah. It was like he brings this up out of the blue because I've never even slightly inferred that me and Ian were gonna ever try and make this physical, let alone like me and Ian would both go after him.
Why would we?
Who would? Yeah, nobody
exactly.
on earth would.
Exactly. So he's just trying to be this big tough man again. So big tough Aaron, who says he can take me and Ian, shows up to Ian's house with another guy because he's that fucking afraid.
Yeah.
He shows up with Kyle, and Kyle's like obviously just out of bed, just as much as I am. I mean, I haven't even fucking showered at this point. I smell awful and shit. And like Kyle's the same way, and Aaron is like got more gel in his hair than fucking any Rito I ever seen. And so like he's raring to go. He's all roided out, and he just like. I'm concerned. I want to do this podcast. I want to continue. I want to continue.
We get a lot of material from it. It's fun.
It was fun.
It's funny.
I don't mind those guys. Like, they're not bad people. Nothing like that. They love Hitler, whatever. That's the worst thing about them. It's awful. I wish they were dead because of it, but that's it.
Well said.
But beyond that, and I'm like, Aaron, dude, what's going on? Because they're at my door, and he's just like, hey, man, what's up? And I was like, hey, dude, hey, what's up? Like, and I have all this stuff in my hand. I'm like, here you go. Like, dude, what's going on with the podcast? Like, seriously, like, what are we doing now? And he's like, well, I just don't know what to do. Like, I just, it's all over. I just think it's all done. I'm going to delete everything. Like, your real talent and, like, all this weird shit. And, like, I'm like, totally taken aback. I'm like, what? This is totally 180. Like last night, it was Critical Splits 100%, 180, like full on turbo. Let's go without Nate. And
I wonder what changed his mind.
And I was just like, totally different. And they're just like, and he started going off on these weird tangents. Like it's hard to put them in a chronological order because they didn't. There was no sense to it. So he's like going off about how, when Nate was talking about how me and Kyle were cussing too much and Mike was saying fuck and shit, and how Nate said it was bad for his family. He was the bigger man.
Yeah.
He told everyone. He told Nate, I'm not going to tell them not to stop cussing. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. He said just like that. He's like all epic about it. He's like, I'm not even like, why would I do that? What was that, Ian? He said to me, what was that, Ian? Was that sticking up for you or was that sticking up for Nate? Because from the way I see it, that was me telling Nate to leave you alone.
I can imagine it so vividly. It feels like I was there because I can see it so good.
And he's just like getting more and more into my face. And I'm just like, whoa, dude. Like, come on. Like, you're saying some serious shit here. Like, you need to back the fuck down.
Right.
Like,
well, he kept telling me the same thing. He's like, I've done nothing but stand up for you guys because he brought up the cussing thing. And I go, Aaron, that's not standing up for us. Like, okay, the whole, like, I go, how was this? What was the premise of this? It was to have a good time and not to make any plans off of it besides. To me, the way I looked at it is, I would talk to guys about doing video games and drinking beer, and if there's a camera there, cool. Right?
It's so funny, like now that I think about it. How did it turn out like this?
But yeah, exactly. So I told Aaron, I go, the plan was to have a nice, relaxed, good time. We all enjoy ourselves. There happens to be a camera there. So when Nathan's sitting there complaining about us cussing on the camera, that's not us like trying, like you telling Nathan to go, like, no, that's not gonna fucking change. That's not you appeasing him. That's that's not like you like defending us. That's not you defending us. That's you telling Nathan to shut the fuck up because he's wrong. The whole like all of our problems that you've said we created aren't things we've created. They're like problems like all the problems that Nathan has with us are just the way things were like us like poking fun at Nathan, like the wife thing and all, or the floppy drive. Like we do that to each other all the time. We all make fun of each other.
And way worse.
Yeah, way worse. Nathan's the only one that complains. So don't say that we're doing something to Nathan when Nathan's the only one taking offense. Like, you don't see Ian complaining that I say that Ian's got some male hookers he can have. You don't see me complaining when Ian's like saying shit about like me. Like, it's like we all do it equally. So you're not standing up for us. You're just not standing up against him. Like no big deal. Like, it's so stupid. So he kept talking about all these times where he's like stood up for us. I'm like, again, all the problems are coming from Nathan. We don't have any problems. The only problem we have is with Nathan having problems. If Nathan had problems, they'd be gone.
Yeah,
Nathan's only he doesn't like our cussing. He doesn't like us, doing this, and it's like.
And then you guys, I mean, Nathan's not trying to get you guys off the show, though, is he?
I don't think so, not necessarily, but it's just more like it's like we're telling him like if we're just done with it. Like, we're not going to work with them anymore. Yeah. So it's like,
it's like, what's next? What am I not going to be able to say next? Because I'm going to say it. And I mean, it's going to get worse, and Aaron's going to get more pissed and weird.
Yeah. It's basically just like, Aaron, it's your call. I mean, we're just telling you, like, this is how it started. This is what we're coming for. If you don't want us on there, then fine. But
because the last podcast it was banned because you said too many crazy things.
About politics.
And because of Nate. Like, if Nate wasn't there, they wouldn't have thought it was crazy. Nate was the only one.
And Kyle agreed that it was way funny when Nate got freaked out and shit, but...
Yeah. Kyle does nothing but back you up no matter what you say.
I know, because Kyle has, like, he can see, like, this is funny, I would watch this. Yeah. So he at least has half a brain in his head where he's like, okay, Aaron, to be fair, like, maybe, like, they never said no politics, but, like, to be fair, even if they had, like, do what sells. Like, you guys got, like, 13... Oh, well, that's the other thing. He's like, Mike... I don't care about the views. Like, we have, he said this right to me. He goes, we have like 5 viewers, Mike. I'm just like, if we have 5 viewers, Aaron, then why does it care? Why does it matter if we talk about politics?
Yeah.
What is it like? Why do you like not air the episode because Ian brought politics? It was like, apparently it was the funniest thing ever, and you wouldn't air it. But there's only we're gonna like piss off 5 people, and he's like, well, that was just like I just didn't like it, Mike. I just didn't want that on there. I didn't like it. I'm in control. I wouldn't have it.
So there you go. Then it goes back to him being in control and being the boss of everything.
So it's like, right there.
And it's going to happen no matter what we do almost. Like, unless we just go on there and be like, bippity bippity, I'm a gingerly. Or something like act exactly like how Aaron wants us to act. There's no way. If I go PlayStation, he'll go, what the fuck, Xbox? Halo, what the hell?
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants.
And he's just like, you know what? I don't even know because Ian's a PlayStation guy, and I just don't even think this is not a PlayStation podcast. This is more Nintendo and Xbox, and
he has so many hidden rules that he doesn't tell you, and you don't think would be there, but they're there.
He's like,
don't wear your Andy Rose shirt.
Yeah, can't wear a shirt that has anything else on it. Can't talk about politics. Can't cuss. Can't do this. Like all these things that he just doesn't tell people. And then if you ask him to his face, he'll tell you, that's okay. I don't care about the views. I was sticking up for you guys. But it's like, no, that's not how it is. You're lying.
Yeah. I mean, like, okay, and I'm talking to him on my porch. All right. And he starts bringing up the page.
Yeah, okay, I haven't heard much about this yet.
The petition?
The petition to bring Mike back. And he's like, so Ian, why would you say stuff behind my back? I was like, what are you talking about?
That's not even behind his back.
I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Like, I don't really talk really bad crap about you. Like, your best friend, Kyle, agrees with me. Everything I've ever said. Yeah. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Am I right? And, like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, this, no. And he's just like, Ian, you called me an oppressor.
Okay, I'm gonna have to tell, like, this is too funny. I'm gonna be like, so you fucking thought it was Ian? Because, like, no, this is me, Aaron. Like,
and he's almost crying at this point. Yeah. If not tearing.
He's almost tearing out. On the phone with me.
He's like, I'm like, what? And he's like, you called me an oppressor. I'm thinking to myself, like, there was something about an oppressor on that page. I'm like, I remember it. It was really funny, but did I hit a like on that? Or did I hit a like on something else? And he's like, you made fun of my heritage? Like, you called me the Emerald Devil?
I called him the Emerald Devil.
What? Okay, hold on. What is an Emerald Devil?
Well, I just kept, like, trying to bring up the redness of his hair. Like, so I just kept, like something about red and something about him being a bad person. So, like, the Emerald Devil, the ginger oppressor, or like his, like, regime was the ginger oppression or something like that. Like,
okay, but you know now that an emerald is green, right?
Oh, what I remember it was like ruby or something. I can't remember what it was.
No, you said emerald.
Did I?
That's the best part.
I was so confused. I'm like, what does Emerald Devil mean?
No, okay, yeah, so I didn't even think about it. I probably was just thinking emerald or some. I was thinking back to the Pokemon game, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there you go. Like, that's how stupid he is. He's like, you call me the Emerald Devil. He's like, that's making fun of my Irish heritage.
I did not know this. All from like a stupid, like not even thinking twice about posting. It's like some rubies into the thing.
And I'm like, whoa, dude. Like, I know I might have liked one of those two comments that Mike made, but I didn't like both of them.
Yeah.
I was like, there was one of those two was not me. Like, I might have thought that one of those things was funny, but I didn't like publicly display my affection for both of those things. He's just kind of like, why'd you gotta make that page, man? Why'd you have to say I have a short man syndrome? And
that was the best.
following,
Short
and
man
Kyle's
syndrome.
just kind of like, Ian, that was really too far. Like, you should have never said that. That was like,
What the
that
fuck
crossed
is-
the line, this short man syndrome thing, and I'm just like, dude, I didn't say any of
On the
this.
phone to him, I said that I go, you have a short man syndrome, and it's really fucking old. And so I said to his face, and he didn't even get offended, or not to his face, over the phone, and he didn't get offended. Like so, it's so funny
Yeah.
that he gets so offended over that. Like, I mean, I'm gonna. Have
And he
to tell
made
him.
this big game plan to go over and lay it all out on Ian with Kyle
Yeah.
and all this stuff.
Oh man, I have to like tell him like. So you think it's Ian? Like, I'm just gonna have to come out now. This is too funny.
So it's like 34 degrees outside. Aaron just rolled up with Kyle in this piece of shit Aaron mobile that looks like the front bumper's gonna fall off versus
Yeah.
mine that's been mangled by a raccoon. And he basically is on my porch, had done all this spiel, and at this point he's on the verge of crying.
Yep.
Is yelling at me.
I can imagine it. Yeah.
Like going, do you even
Army
understand?
style.
Just like
Yeah.
breaking down like a Maury Povich bullshit on my porch, like
That was a lie.
with Kyle looking like his like I don't know.
Yeah,
One
what
of
did
his
Kyle
hookers,
say?
like
Yeah, what did
just
Kyle-
fresh off of the STD train or
What was
something.
Kyle's
I don't know,
stance during
dude.
all this? Was he just kind of letting it go,
He
or
was just
is
kind of
he
like,
trying to be
Ian,
tough?
you should have told him he had a short man syndrome, which I never did, which was the
Is that is that Kyle's
that
only
was
contribution to
really
the thing?
the
or-
only thing that Kyle was just like, and otherwise he said, yeah, but you know what, Ian, when we said that you should stop like poking fun at Nate, we really meant that you should stop poking fun at Nate. And honestly, when they said stop, I did stop. I did not.
Well, that was the other thing. Like the computer thing. That was like the reason why that one was so ridiculous. Is that was even poking fun at Nate. That
Yeah.
was poking. That was making a computer joke.
That was a joke. Yeah, that was saying.
His
telling
question was
a
already
joke.
answered.
That was
Kyle-
like just as much towards Kyle and Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It wasn't even like a joke at anyone. It was just a joke about computers, like a hard drive joke. Like there's no offense in that anywhere. And yeah, it's ridiculous.
So what was the result of Aaron on your doorstep taking your capture card?
I looked at him and I was like, you know what, Aaron? At this point, you're accusing me of a lot of things. You are putting a lot of words in my mouth. You're saying I'm attacking your culture. You're saying all this shit. And you know what? It's really starting to work me up and I don't need this at this point. So, if you please. And I bowed to him a little bit. I was like,
Yes.
I have homework to do. And I pointed at my door like, I'm going now. He's just like, okay. And kind of like looked down like, yeah, that's true. Like, this is a waste of time. This is stupid. and they're just like, do you have the software though for the capture card? I was like, fuck, I left the disc in my computer. So I had to go up and grab that and give it to him. And I was just like, you know, here you go, man. Like my final closing words to him were like, you know what? Whatever you decide with Critical Splits is like whatever, man. Just like make your decision, whatever. But I just like don't make any quick decisions. You know, take a day. 2
That's why we
days,
both ended on
a
some awesome
week,
advice.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, however much time you need. Like nobody's in a hurry here. Like just whatever. Just think it through. It's not a big deal. Like
We don't hate the guy. We just laugh at him.
like 15 minutes of him getting back to his house, I couldn't even see a Critical Splits picture on the fucking interwebs unless I looked at it from my own,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
black market version.
I so badly if I would have known that I would have recorded like I would have took one of those things that rips the video and audio off and I would just post them up for the rest of our life and he would just be like hate it.
He deleted me from his Facebook like immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, what? why would you cut off communication? Like, what do you want from this?
Yeah,
Like,
and he never said anything about like you are not my friend. It was all about like you're making fun of Nate, this and that, critical splits. And then he goes and like deletes you guys from his friends, and it's like, all right, like I don't know what you're doing.
I have a feeling Aaron thrives off this kind of shit.
Of
And
course
He's like one of
he
those-
does.
He's one of those. The perfect way to say him
Quite
is he's one of the people like that. That is like he's one of the people that lives off of drama, and he's the first person to be like, I hate drama.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Yeah, it's that's him. But like this thing, we're both even like genuine to him at the end, like just like nice and just like Aaron, this is what you need to do. If you were honestly asking, like if you're trying not to be stupid and you're actually taking some input, here is like on a silver platter. This is what's wrong. Fix it. It's so easy, but like go do it. And then he literally like genuinely accepts it. He's like, okay. But then as soon as he gets away from that sane mindset and he gets into his own head for like even 30 minutes, he goes back in 180s and makes it ridiculous.
Exactly.
So Aaron's standing on my porch at this point, looking at me dead in the eye with those fucking halfway glasses.
Oh my gosh.
Even though
Trademark since high school.
you couldn't see the sun for the last week in Oregon. And basically he's looking me dead in the face and he's saying, I lost my spot. That was so funny, just setting up the plot. God damn it.
He was looking at you dead in the eyes.
So the last thing you said to him was the thing about making decisions, and then what did they do? They just left or what?
Oh fuck! He started freaking out about something. God damn it! I was getting into it. I was just like, oh my god, it was so funny. His fucking sunglasses were the stuff. That was the thing that killed me. Was he's always got these fucking crazy sunglasses on, basically.
He's got one of those ones that changes in like light to dark, which I have those and I'm like never gonna buy those again. It's already pointless enough. But like his are just permanently dark all times of the year, and it's got this gay ass purple shade to them. And
I just remember this point where he was just getting all up into my face, and he's just like, you just don't understand my decision making or something like that. And like he's just like starting to cry and like point at the ground like real fiercely and stuff.
Yeah, like
and,
he's off of some like army movie or something.
starts to step up into me, and
Neck
then like
veins twitching and like
Kyle has to like grab him and be like, come on man, come on, stop doing that, come on, we don't need to be fighting anybody. I couldn't believe it.
yeah,
It felt like middle school.
yeah,
It did.
yeah.
Like I
But,
remember
it's
some middle
weird,
schoolers
though.
doing that.
I know what it means. It feels like middle school when you get one of those silly battles, but like I still feel like I'm in my normal body. So it's like I'm in a middle school fight, and when I see them like saying some stupid bullshit, I'm just like I like instead of like get offended like a middle schooler, but I'm just like, are you
He
serious?
said to me, he goes, Ian, this is my podcast, my money. This is all mine. This is all my money, all my donors. I've spent every dime on this podcast. This is mine. This is my decisions. These are not your decisions, Ian. These are mine. This is my money, my equipment, my gear, my microphone, my money. These are my decisions. He just went off like that. That's what he did. I'm so glad I remembered.
Yes. The whole time pointing at the ground and just
Just freaking out.
Which
Just like
is true, but-
every step closer to me, he's taking more water is coming into his eyes. His face is becoming more and more like the sun towards the end of the day.
that's the thing. It's like I said, he lives for this drama stuff. But in his head, this is real too. Like he's He is sincerely passionate.
in his head,
about
it's like this is so necessary. I wish I didn't have to do this, but I gotta, you know.
He thinks his problems are so impassable.
Yeah.
And they're so serious, and they're so like me and Ian are just really out to fuck him over.
You're just stress testing him, yeah. Like he had this stupid podcast idea, and you guys ran in there just as a joke, and just be like, "Hey, kick Nate off the podcast. Hey, Aaron's the Emerald Devil," and that just tore his world down around him. He's like, "They're picking on me."
Like any half intelligent person would be like, yeah, like fuck Ian and Mike guy, they're fucking douches.
Hey,
so I
Ian
kick
and
them off the
Mike,
show.
you're out. Don't
Yeah.
show up to the next podcast. We're gonna go on without you.
Yeah. I mean, like, we've been so ridiculous. You don't even have to like make up well, we're not really happy about something. Like, you could just be like, I really was upset when you made fun of Nathan's like getting divorced, and
You guys are being dicks. You're just trolling me. Get out.
yeah, like, that's all you have to be like. You guys are being an ass to me, like, We are, but we're having fun doing it. But like we were doing it until we got kicked off.
Yeah.
And little did we know, Aaron is such a passive aggressive little pussy. He was gonna keep us on forever.
You think he'd hug me if I saw him at the mall or something? I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Well, he definitely wouldn't initiate anything, I don't think. Unless you, like, ran into him, like, physically head on.
I'm so interested to see Aaron at the next Kyle party.
Are you going to the next one?
Oh, for sure.
Me too.
I have to see Aaron. I cannot wait to see Aaron's face. Just like, I want to see, because I know, like, any normal person would be like at a party, like, I wouldn't be, like, surprised if someone was like, would walk up to me like, you know what, Mike? Fuck you. Don't say anything to me for the rest of the night.
Really?
But I know Aaron will be like, hey, Mike, how's it going? Yeah, things have been going all right since the podcast. I know he'll do that. That's exactly what
Yeah,
he'll
he'd
do.
be like,
Yeah.
I got my promotion and now I'm driving the, the supercharged Camaro at the public safety office at Woo. It's pretty nice. I wrote up 3 tickets last week. It was real good. They're frat guys.
Changing
Can't
the
do
fire
anything about it.
extinguishers.
I went around and I ran some drills. It was good. Brought me back to Nam.
I really want to know what they're doing if they're, like, totally done then.
Right?
I wonder if it was just, like, if it was just 1% just an excuse to stop. Because, like,
Yeah.
Kyle's busy and Aaron doesn't know how to do it.
If I had to predict, though, I think I know what they're doing. Kyle and Aaron are going to go off on their own, like, duet project. Like,
They can do that. No one's gonna.
I
No one's
haven't
gonna
seen
watch.
it. I want to see it.
yeah, I know. I don't know if we'll hear about it because I know Kyle, he's pretty neutral with at least with me still. But I think he knows with Aaron and me and how much I control. I think he would keep it a secret from me.
No, I know obviously you guys aren't going to be in on it, but
Yeah.
would they tell? I mean, I haven't heard you
Well, it's
think
gonna
they'd
be
doing
it'd
it.
be really hard to hide it from everyone.
Yeah.
Because what goes around comes around. So if Kyle posts one thing to everyone but me and Ian, well then Laven's gonna be like, "Did you know?" Like, or Pat will be like, "Hey, so are you still in that?" Like, it's gonna come back around if they
And
do.
why
it.
would they hide it if they want it to be popular?
Exactly. So it's like they're kind of stuck. They can't really hide it from us. They either have to embrace the fact that. And the sad thing is, I know if I do find it out, I'm gonna troll every fucking video. I will be in the
exactly.
comments.
Yeah.
So, which they brought on themselves. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, trolls have just been too good lately. Just keep running into good troll after good troll.
Yeah.
That like the last troll, like the big Aaron one, like it's like honestly my favorite part about that troll is it took no work on our end. It just happened.
Yeah.
You just let them happen.
It almost took too little work.
Yeah. You like hit the first domino and the whole way there it does itself.
Yeah.
All we had to do is show up for the podcast, and after that it just dominoed itself.
It's too much. I don't know why he had to do that, but whatever. You know?
Yeah. Well, he damned himself. He's literally like, if he ever had any hope, which he did, he thought he was going to be a millionaire, famous celebrity from his podcast. If he had any hope, he needed us. And not Nathan, that's for sure.
Yeah, he really seemed to enjoy Nathan's brand of humor better, though.
Yeah, he did. I agree. He thought Nathan, I think he deep down, like, when we confront him about it, he wouldn't admit it. But deep down, he probably thought, like, I like that Nathan's pretty funny, you know?
Yeah.
And even though he's not, deep down, he probably liked it somehow.
Yeah.
Because he podcasted with him originally. They did these Minecraft Let's Plays, and they would like do something for 2 hours. No one watches a 2 hour Let's Play, but it was bad. It was worse than that. He was having internet problems at Kyle's, so he was disconnected constantly. Another reason to not watch. But the worst part was they're like, Minecraft is like infinitely huge. It's gigantic.
Yeah.
They're just like, all right, we're gonna spawn on this level and we're gonna have a fight to death. Like 4 of them. They just spawn on the world and try and find each other and kill each other. Like, then for the 2 hours they played, they never found each other. No
Yeah.
one found one person.
That's like starting in a random spot in the country. Just
Yeah.
Like, all right, guys, let's find each other.
I mean, I bet Minecraft is bigger than the Earth. Like, and there's like, okay, we have a guy in South America, we have a guy in North America, a guy in Africa, and a guy in Australia. Find each other, guys. All of you are gonna have to like swim an ungodly amount of water just to even find each other. But
Yeah.
it's like, and I mean, it was so bad that Aaron would like, he eventually like put the controller down halfway through like the recording, and he'd come back to it, and I think I even got on and I started talking to him on their headset, like very unprofessional, but like that was the way they did it. That was peachy to them. So he's already came leaps and bounds farther than he probably ever thought he would anyways, but
yeah.
It all stemmed off of him just sitting down and watching this thing called Rooster Teeth one day off YouTube and thinking he could do that better, and he couldn't.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Honestly, I thought he had like a little bit more drive than that. I knew how stupid he was, but I thought he had the attitude to keep it going.
I knew how stupid he was. I didn't. I thought I knew how stupid he was. It went deeper, way deeper than I ever imagined. Because I wish I could remember right now for the podcast. I so badly wish I could remember. But I told Liv, and I go, I think this is single-handedly the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And I've heard some pretty stupid stuff. Yeah. I will post it like on our group later. But it was like I can't believe you just said that. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. By far. It was so bad.
I'm sure some of the stuff Aaron or Kyle have said is among the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
A handful of them are, like, maybe they're not number one, but there's a lot of them. They fill a lot of the top 10 slots.
Yeah.
The things that they've said that are dumb are one thing. The things that they have said that are outright violently psychotic.
Yeah.
Totally changed my opinion of them. I always knew they were pretty stupid, but
yeah,
I didn't know they were secretly hating humanity.
Yeah.
Aaron's saying, like, war is good because I get paid that way.
Yeah, what was that comment on? Was that
somebody's stupid post?
Like,
I don't even know.
Aaron said something like
Lavin's post about what's worse, child hunger or getting out of bed in the morning.
Yeah,
and then he comments like, "Well, war means I get paid, so child hunger is worse." I'm like, okay, maybe that is a good debate. Like, what is worse, child hunger or war?
You could say something worse than that.
Right, like there's a million ways to say which one's worse, but you just said like I get paid to kill people, so killing people like war is like
that's
wow. Because he unfriended me over the last comment I made on his profile was he posted a picture of a geography picture, like a map of Iraq, well, like the whole Middle East, and there was just a big hole there's just like a big hole that looked like it had been filled with water from the Middle East. And it was because he's like, why don't we just drop a nuke and end all of our problems? And then so it was like a hole got filled with the ocean, right? So I said to him, I commented on the thing, I go, yeah, because killing millions of innocent people amongst a few thousand terrible people is completely fair.
Yeah.
So he removed my comment. And I'm just like, well, motherfucker. So
it's like, Aaron, you're being the racist one.
So I don't stand for that though. So I'm just like, I comment on the photo again. I go, remove my comment all you want. You can remove it 1,000 times. Doesn't make my point any less valid. And he just removes the entire post. And then sometime after that, he removed me as a friend. But it's just he is just.
He makes
ridiculous.
some bad decisions.
Yeah.
He told me one time he asked me to not post any more sexual comments on his Facebook page because he has special people watching his page, mentors and whatnot, his colleagues.
Even though there's 3 other people besides you who said that.
Way more sexual stuff, and I'm just I don't instigate the sexual stuff. Yeah. I let him do it or somebody else. And somebody else is just hey, you know what that means? That means that they want your D in their V, man.
Is that a code word for your boner?
And I was just yeah, what he said or something and he's just I would ask you to please not do that because there are people who respect me on Facebook.
All I'm thinking, I was like, what do I do to keep this train rolling? Because it's just too funny to laugh at. I don't want him to fade from my life. It's like John Bender. I don't want them to get out of my life, not because they're good people, but because they bring too much entertainment to my face.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's what do I do to keep in Aaron's life while still pissing him off? It's a hard bridge to walk.
You should contact him.
Yeah.
Be dude, I just want to break the ice.
Or have us invite him on our video game podcast.
Oh my god. That'd be pretty great.
Oh.
Somehow
hey.
Halfway through the podcast, he's just well, I mean, obviously my favorite game's Halo. We're Aaron, we told you, we do not bring up Halo on this podcast. That's a thing we do not do. There's too many people who do not like Halo. There's too many Call of Duty fans out there. We do not bring up that stuff on our podcast.
Guys, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I just I didn't know that. That's weird to me that that's against the rules, but okay, I'll respect that.
Oh
is your
my
house.
God, just keep
This is your property. This is America.
But it's just like
I
keep
fight
stepping
for
up.
this country.
Yeah, and just stepping up and getting ridiculous. Like, what the heck? You're wearing that shirt? It's like, but it's white. Like, no, we do not wear Arizona brand shirts on this shirt.
That's a fucked up shirt, man.
Yeah.
They hate babies and stuff.
Especially if you just do it for a podcast.
Be super passive about it, just like, oh, okay. Hey, everybody. Aaron would like to promote Zoomies. Apparently, like, that's okay. You could have asked us first. But
Yes.
okay.
Like, just our policy is like, when we.
And right when he says Halo, just like, whoa, okay, guys, am I right? Like, maybe we can change the subject. Halo is a little touchy, you know, robotics and everything, you know.
Like Aaron, like I know you weren't there. I know it's not your fault because you weren't here when we like founded this program, but we all agreed that we're not gonna talk about that, and like you should have just known. But I mean, we all thought it was obvious, so we didn't say anything.
Until it finally climaxes in. I did everything I could to try to make this the best podcast I could.
We should just
this
get a
is
full.
You need to cry more, man.
Yeah.
We need to get a full-scale timeline. And
We
reduce it down to a
need
1 hour
to have
podcast and
like
have all of his emotions go through his entire storyline, but in front of him, and everybody wouldn't even catch it.
Oh my god, I'm getting so many ideas. Like during the podcast, have a plant and like have like a spray. No, like I'll have a spray bottle and like I'll just keep watering it for some reason. Just like whatever, just keep watering it. And then right when we get to the part where you're doing the big thing, I'll just like come up and just like spray some in your eyes, and you just keep going. So all of a sudden you're crying.
This almost seems too hard to put together, but I so want to do it.
The hardest part was just getting him to come on.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that hard. We'd be like, Aaron, we feel bad that your podcast broke. We don't know if you're doing anything anymore, but like, we would like to extend you the olive branch by inviting you onto our podcast
And
show.
we'd really appreciate your knowledge on our show. We're not a lot of Xbox players. I know you pre-ordered the new Xbox.
Oh my God,
so-
you're so pandering right to his like inner soul. Like,
Yeah.
that would get him hook, line, and sinker.
Oh,
I wonder
that's right.
if-
Ian has every PS3 game ever made, but he doesn't know shit about the Xbox. I'll win.
Yeah. Like, Aaron, we really expect we don't got the intelligence you have, and so we just need to we didn't think we needed you, but you do bring a lot of innocent,
Aaron.
honest intellect to the show.
I feel like we could really benefit from a Microsoft Xbox expert coming onto our show. I know we talk a lot about Nintendo and the Mario and the Pokemons.
But when it comes to Halo, we just don't know.
And sometimes when I'm doing my podcast, I get sleepy, and your stupid could wake me up.
We have a real problem with. I mean, I'm sure Ian, right?
Yeah.
I know Ian. You know Ian.
We need a little bit of order, and you bring it.
Yes.
He has been saying the fuck word all up and down the street. Have you had that happen? You know what I'm talking about when Ian gets like that? Yep.
If you want to be here, that's cool. But just come on. You don't have to come every time, but just come on once. So when Ian gets a little out of hand, and you have our permission to hold him back, we just want to see your approach and how you do it because you've done it very well.
We really think that at this point, at this juncture, you might even be a good influence on him. Maybe if he sees how you conduct yourself on our podcast, he might, rub off a little bit on him.
Aaron, for one, we think Ian's on marijuana. We
we want him to shape up.
We have reasonable evidence to suggest that he's been using marijuana, weaponized medical marijuana.
Aaron, you don't even get how bad it is. Last week, he fucking brought up politics on the show.
Second, Aaron, I'm just not so sure because of his marijuanas.
It's marijuana's.
If he would maybe get a little violent, things would come down to blows, and I would want a real man around.
Yes.
Come to
We just need a leader, a strong leader, physically strong leader.
The other night, I don't know what he was smoking. It was some sort of pipe apparatus, maybe a flame approach.
It was made out of glass, and it looked like an Indian made.
I don't know. Mike is a small guy, you know that. I am not as tough as you. I mean, you could take
point.
3 of me in a fight, I'm sure. Thank God that science has not invented cloning, because as it stands, you can take me in a fight. But Ian is stronger than the 2 of us.
He got that
and I would just
marijuana
feel
juice.
safer.
I swear, if a cop came in here and shot him 3 times, he would still come at the cop because that marijuana stuff.
It's basically PCP.
Yeah,
Like they're in the same category.
Angel dust.
As far as illegal drugs goes, they're both.
And every time I try and bring it up with like Ian's problem with Mike is so stupid. He just like goes off on some random like troll, and it's terrible. I can't like make sense to him.
Mike is no help. We need you, Aaron.
Like the conversation would end, and he'd be like standing there like dumbfounded with a huge boner, like, "Yes, I'll help."
Yeah. Oh my god.
So that's the thing we have to make happen, I guess.
Then just be super serious until right when the camera starts. All right, everybody, we're gonna do the countdown now. I know like you are good at counting down, so maybe you can count it down, Aaron. Give us the 5, 4, the 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody! Like we got a dumbass over here named Aaron.
Yes. Oh my god, that would be so great. I do absolutely though. Someday we'll have him on a show. At the very least, he'll be on a show.
It's worth asking him.
Hard.
I'm definitely gonna make a documentary on his stupidity because I've never seen anything of that caliber in my life. Like, how did it happen?
He is stupider than my stepmom.
That's the title of it.
How did it happen?
Yeah, that is true. How did that's what I was thinking. Like back in high school, he was that dumb. What's that?
The ginger tail.
How did it happen? The ginger tail.
It's like he's this dumb in high school. Like at what point did he become like stupid? Like it's not like a minor case of stupid. It's a hardcore case. It's one worth studying. Like I want to take him to Harvard and have like people tell me why. Like that's all. It's why.
I'm just imagining the BBC covering him and being like, so today we are studying this lad who somehow made it through the American institution system without being labeled retarded.
Here we are talking to the principal of his school, and like they're walking through the halls on like an off day, like a voiceover. It's like, so how did it happen? I knew Aaron. He was very good at the football. And I can't say what happened. I gave him enough homework, and he just must have slipped through. I don't know. Now we're here
wondering how a psycho like this could have made it through the system without murdering an entire city. What kind of fucked up place is America?
Then it cuts to him just like in his room playing Xbox One.
I was gonna say it's like they're gonna like. We the first thing they look like we really looking into this video game violence thing. That's all we can think because he was just brainwashed by Halo.
We're gonna look at some interesting statistics on heroin abuse versus the Xbox One abuse.
So what sort of electronic games do you find yourself playing?
Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4 is pretty bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, you have a problem, dear.
So I was talking to his mom. It's like, is this normal? Is this his every day?
Yeah, exactly.
You can hear him in the background, like yelling at Ian on the phone.
This is my stuff, Ian.
My money. My decisions, damn it. Nick is on the podcast. It's my decision. I told him you can cuss. That's good enough. That's enough to have babies with me.
Like now, as you can see, that the ginger child is quite agitated. He being very with his caveman brain, he needs to be the bigger man, and someone threatening stepped in with their intelligence, and he is of course resorting to the only one spot he thinks he excels at as physical, his body. But even then,
Cut to him at the gym. Just voice this over while he's at the gym, just like lifting weights, looking over at some girl in short shorts, and
and then they pan over to like just a little bit of weight, more than
Oh,
I
that's
could do,
right.
sure,
I
but-
forgot about how much he hated attractive women.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Goddamn women at the gym won't fucking dress up.
Dude, they just look so hot, and they're nothing that they're wearing. God, I can see their tits practically. It's awful. It's
I get
like
all these
travesty.
ideas. I want to go over with the mall and be like, complain like, look at that, Victoria's Secret, like all like they're just advertising like these mostly naked women. Like they should like paint their windows black and sell their scampy products behind the window like normal people. Like,
because I don't have a problem with it. It's not like I have a problem with it, but You know what we should really do though? A behind the music of Critical Hits.
Oh my god.
Honestly, go to every single member that's ever been on it, like where are they now behind the music, and just tell us this tale of Critical Hits.
We could.
I'm really bored.
I
wanna do this.
It could be a whole 7 minutes long if we do it right.
Do you have a camera?
Yeah.
I honestly think we could edit it together, just make it like 15 minutes total or whatever, like under half an hour tops, and just go to every single member.
I think the hardest part would be like, it's like question of like, do you fake it and be like Kyle, like that's Kyle's last scene doing like blow off a dumpster, or you could like do it legit because they are so stupid. Retarded,
Exactly.
that like doing it legit, like
According to
like,
TMZ.
right?
Yeah, doing it legit would still be as stupid.
Yeah, because it's like Aaron literally just fired like two most important people at his work because they like gave him the evil eye. Like it'd be something silly, but like it's hilarious to watch.
You know
what
what
Aaron
would be
fucking
the
does.
best? You know what would be the best? Is if we showed up to Aaron while he was patrolling as the like campus safety person. I'm
Yeah.
just like, Aaron, would you please tell the camera what happened to Critical Splits? And he'd just be like, sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to please leave the campus. You're causing a ruckus, and I can arrest you right now. I have cuffs, okay, and a taser.
Then we get an angry phone call and like, you guys attacked me at work, not physically, because like, I mean, like I could take you, but you have to hit me first at work before else I get like fired. But like, you guys attacked me mentally at work.
You guys could like film me getting like thrown to the ground by him, like, don't resist me, man. I swear this could be bad for you. I'll help you out if you just, play along. Like,
Yeah.
Where are they now? That's gotta be made.
you should get an old picture of Kyle with his really fucking long hair.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And just like make him out to be like Carrot Top, like all like juiced out and always like drunk or something.
Kyle's in a drunk trying to make it in the stand-up comedy world, and
Behind the music.
but like even Kyle, like,
Hey.
like yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say earlier, you know what's funny about Kyle is he does not protest when I call his girlfriend Cyber anymore.
Yes.
And I've also gotten Laven to start calling her Cyber. He does not say Saber anymore. He says Cyber.
Yeah. I always forget was like I whenever it came up like once or twice, but I would say Cyber when he started talking about it when I tried to get the story out of him, and I was trying to play like, oh, what happened, dude? Like trying to be nice to him and everything. And I'm like, so wait, who started first, Cyber? And he's like, yeah, Saber. And I'm like, oh shoot.
God.
Like it's an accident. Like
That's
her
funny
name
that
could
Kyle
possibly
doesn't
be
care now.
Cyber.
That's crazy.
It's the same thing.
It's
I
his
say to
freaking
face all the
girlfriend.
time.
He's the one that got pissed about that picture. You
Oh
think it'd
my
be
god,
like-
he's so sick of her already, but he just assumed to
Oh.
start
You
getting
got pissed
laid.
about what?
You know, have you seen that scribble drawing that Ian drew on Facebook a long time
Oh,
ago?
yeah.
My best friends.
Yeah.
She cried about that. She said,
What?
you didn't hear about
She
that?
fucking cried.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Right after why did you post it? I can't remember why you posted it, but you drew a picture of like 9 of your friends.
Yeah.
2 of them were like Lucifer and like
Yeah.
some name you made up or something. Like
Snoop Lion or something.
Snoop Lion was there.
Aaron was there because he's like, I made the list.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
Aaron,
holding
of course,
hands
it
with
went over his
Snoop
head.
Lion, yeah.
And then some like Bill Barnes or some name you made up or
Yeah.
something. And then 2 of them were Cyber and Kyle. And immediately after you posted it, Kyle and Cyber untagged themselves just like within a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And then then you went and talked to Kyle and you're like, hey man, like what's up? He's like, oh dude, I haven't had internet in a month. Like I don't know what's been going on at all.
He was such a puss about it.
Yeah.
He is pretty passive aggressive too.
And he was just like, you know what? She was really upset by that.
Yeah.
Really, really upset. And I was just like, really? She's that sensitive? That's pathetic.
A stick figure saying that you're her friend.
Yeah, like, she's holding the hand of Lucifer like, okay, big fucking deal.
Right?
That's one of the funniest things I've ever made
People need to
in
grow
my
some thicker
life.
skin.
Like, and like, I don't know, me and Jack were talking about something or another later, and he's like, because I'm pretty sure Kyle doesn't really like me. He doesn't communicate with me at all.
I don't know.
I don't know if like he
I also
dislikes.
don't know.
I don't know if he dislikes me any more than he dislikes anyone
Oh
else.
yeah. Have we talked since that party that we went to? Did Kyle say anything about us or anything?
Which one?
The Halloween one?
What's the Halloween party? Oh, you guys showed it? No, he hasn't said anything.
All right. Because, yeah, he was acting really weird to us, I thought, at that point.
Yeah, like, I kind of felt like everyone was kind of, like, giving you a half cold shoulder, but then, like, half the people, like, it was, like, weird, because, like, a third of them give you, like, the cold shoulder, and a third of them, like, give you, like, a half cold shoulder, and the other third, like, didn't care, and then, they, like, you guys were your own, like, well, I guess it was almost, like, fourths, and it's just, like, it made a really weird mix, like, they didn't want to, like, embrace you, but when some people are, like, half embracing you, other people are embracing you, like, they couldn't really, like, completely not.
Well, I thought it made sense for the people who didn't know who I was, but like Kyle, like, cause like the podcast I did with him, he was like super friends, like super buddy and all this stuff. And I go to this party, and it felt like he just gave me the death stare, like nonstop. And I was like, "What are you doing, Kyle? Like, I thought we were pals.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on, man?" It's like,
I know.
Nothing.
There's this weird tension around it all, like, cause same with the, like, the video game party at the Audrey Bailey's, like, that party, like, there was, like, this weird, like, almost, like, what are you guys doing here tension, but
Yeah,
like,
that
but
too.
then, like, it seemed like, I guess I kind of put my finger out, it's like, half the people were like, what are you doing here, and the other half were like, we don't care, and it gives us this weird vibe that it's, like, hard to put your finger on, like, half the people are like, cool, and the other half are like, this is weird, and, like, why is it weird, I don't know.
You are not partying how I want you to.
Yeah.
It's like, what's wrong?
But they're all, like, too afraid to say anything, especially at the video game thing, like, they couldn't say anything anyways, though, so, but yeah, like, it's just, yeah.
They weren't like that when they even brought Cyber around.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, Cyber, you're pretty cool. You talk shit about guys who take their pants off and stuff."
I think that the fact that, like, Saber doesn't like you guys, or at least Ian.
Oh, she hates me.
Yeah, I think that.
With a passion.
Well, like, the fact that she doesn't like you, and then, like, Kyle has to act like the man in front of her, too. So then, but then at the same time, he doesn't want to kick you out. So, like, he can't.
He
like,
knows that she's being stupid about this shit.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's,
She
like, in a weird
makes
position.
him live with her flea-infested dog.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I can see why Laven like got
Broke
hooked
up
up
with
with
her.
her for a second now.
Yeah.
Did you hear the new
Really
news?
Stupid.
The new news. I don't remember where I heard this from, but pretty sure Kyle is back on for buying his house.
Oh, again?
His
Pretty
parents'
sure.
house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, well, yeah, you said something about how Kyle is not going to move to Corvallis anymore, right?
Yeah, but he's not going to buy their house. They're going to stand. They're just going to. He's not going to pay rent, or he's going to pay barely any rent or something. And they're just going to let it go for a while like this because his grandma died or something. His parents don't want to deal with anything else.
Yeah, I think I heard something about that, though, because, yeah, last in that recording I heard, or the podcast or whatever, he's all like, yeah, here's a new plan. Screw this house. I'm going to move in an apartment with Corvallis and all this stuff with Cyber. And now he's like, nope, I'm back on buying the house.
Yeah. So I don't know, like, it's been all kind of cloudy and foggy, but
He's a
But-
fucking idiot.
yeah. I mean, I get why he doesn't stand up, but, like, he's, like, kind of caught in between. Like, Kyle probably is just like, I don't, like, care. Like, Ian can do what he wants, and Saber, like, she can do what she wants, but Saber doesn't like you, and you don't like Saber, and he's, like, caught in this middle. He's like, I don't, like, I'm supposed to, like, stand up for my girlfriend here, but I don't want to, because, like, there's nothing, like, she's being ridiculous, and, yeah.
She's ridiculous.
So.
Dude, we're at about time for some fake announcements.
All right.
Fake announcement time.
Here's my fake announcement. Video games are dumb.
That's it? Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Semi-fake announcement, because it's real, but we don't know when, so I'm just going to announce it. Like, the Where Are We Now is coming out later this month, and since it's like we got 2 days till the end of the month, yeah, we better get on it. So.
Yeah. Look out for that.
Hopefully we'll see some people tomorrow. If not, we'll have to postpone till, 2/14. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
And Aaron gives the best wishes to all of our viewers.
Yeah.
Obama has saved the entire world.
Yeah, I agree. That's all. Because Obama.
What else is worth
Cares.
talking about?
I know.
Who else is there in this world? Obama and who?
Aaron.
The guy who invented Doritos.
Wasn't there some guy with like a G in his name? Like a genie? No.
Jordy LaFord.
Jizz. Something jizz.
Just
Do you know what I'm talking about? Jizz?
I'm just thinking Aaron because he's very important.
I think
Cheese
it's.
pizza.
He's the center of my
about-
world.
I think his name is Juice.
Juice?
But Juices.
Juices.
OJ?
Sounds closer.
OJ.
OJ.
Oh, that's probably the name we're
I
looking
don't
for.
think that's the guy we're talking about.
Is he the same as Obama though? Are they the same person?
I know, he was in The Simpsons.
I don't remember this guy's name.
Or maybe his last name was Simpson.
Anyway, he's like God or something. It's almost like Obama.
Maybe Eric Clapton.
Maybe if anybody out there knows what the fuck we're talking about, please help us find him. Juices or whoever.
Please donate your money now, and we'll send that on over to Jesus.
That's what his name is.
This has been the super effective segment of NPR, and we'd all like to thank you.
And I'd just like to say we clearly are super effective because we destroyed critical hits.
Apparently, without even any effort at all, it was like a water to rock situation.
That's what happens when you're super effective, because a super effective hit is way more powerful than any critical hit.
Yeah,
That's actually
like,
true. A
oh,
super effective attack
I
is
really want
twice the
that
damage, and a
Pokemon.
critical hit is only
I
one and a
shouldn't use my
half.
super effective Pokemon against it because then my Pokeballs will be useless against that Pokemon. Did you ever think that was like dumb? Like, why can't you catch a Pokemon once it's fucking laying there in a heaping mess of not movability? God damn.